Chapter 1391. The Voidwalker was hit. No matter how powerful his void technique was, it wasn't omnipotent. He never thought that someone would risk serious injuries to use a soul attack on him. Moreover, the attack was so powerful. He was a mid-level god, and his divine soul was incomparably powerful. Ordinary soul attacks couldn't hurt him at all. If the distance between them was just a little bit further, he could use his void technique to dodge Yang Wu's attack. Unfortunately, he underestimated Yang Wu's ruthlessness and also underestimated the terror of Yang Wu's soul power. That soul power actually contained a trace of immortal light. Don't underestimate this trace of immortal light. It wasn't something an ordinary god expert could withstand. The Voidwalker's divine soul was heavily injured. It wasn't destroyed, but the pain was unbearable. The situation wasn't very good. As long as he was given some time, he would be able to recover. But how could Yang Wu give him this chance? He urged the power of his immortal foundation, and his body that was split open healed rapidly. Rays of soul light continuously entered the Voidwalker's divine soul. The Big Dipper sword appeared in his hand. He shouted with killing intent, "What Voidwalker? In my eyes, you're just a fart." Star-swallowing sword technique, devouring the starry sky. Yang Wu used the fourth move of the star-swallowing sword technique. This was a move that could only be used after reaching the Jade Moon Realm. Now that he had the combat strength of a Jade Moon Realm expert, he could barely use it. He urged all the energy in his body, and the void energy around him was absorbed. A terrifying sword intent soared into the sky. The power that could devour the starry sky was crazy. It swept through the nearby void and shattered it. No matter what kind of power it was, it couldn't stop this powerful sword. Yang Wu was like a true martial. He stepped on the black tortoise. His majestic appearance was shocking. Battle Tribe. Empress felt the battle chi released by Yang Wu's body and muttered in her heart. The Voidwalker had just entered the void when the terrifying sword chi came over. He couldn't block it and could only use the void energy to block it. Rumble rumble. The power released by the Big Dipper sword was too strong. The omnipresent sword chi swallowed up the surrounding void and slashed the Voidbringer out of the void. This guy was still alive. He was wearing a black cloak, which blocked most of the Big Dipper sword's attack. Only a small part of the attack managed to cut through the cloak and injure him. This is a high-grade deity's cloak, but it was also cut apart. The Void Emissary exclaimed in shock. His cloak was of a very high level. It was a reward given to him by the ancient Void Palace. It could save his life at a critical moment. Now it had indeed saved his life. However, it had been cut apart and was now half useless. He realized that the sword in his opponent's hand was of a higher level than the cloak. The Voidbringer was frightened. He shouted, "Men, kill them. I will give you the second and third stages of the void body tempering technique." Suddenly, the eyes of the soldiers in the distance turned red. The second and third stages of the void body tempering art were too important to them. They could absorb the power of the void to restore their cultivation base, which was enough to make them risk their lives for it. The Void Emissary retreated while saying, "I can also give you the fourth stage of the void body tempering technique." Only the fourth stage of the void body tempering technique could attract the attention of the heavenly king leaders. The raging flame tiger was the most tempted. He roared, "I will help the Void Emissary kill the traitor." The raging flame tiger rushed over like a fire tiger released from a cage. His aura was incomparably shocking. In another direction, the divine archer Yu Huahong also raised his divine arrow and shot toward Yang Wu. The arrow shot out like a meteor. Lai Feng was not slow either. He turned into a gust of wind and tore through space, heading straight for the crown princess. Kill the Voidwalkers first. Yang Wu's gaze focused on the Voidwalkers. He continued to overdraw his strength and slashed out with his sword, completely ignoring any attacks from behind. If he did not kill the Voidwalkers, they would not be able to escape the ancient Void City. Kill! The Crown Princess also went all out. The hair on top of her head flew out and stabbed toward the Voidwalkers. The haircut unleashed an incredible amount of power. It pierced through the void and stabbed into the Voidwalker's temple. It almost killed his soul. Ah! The Voidwalker screamed in pain. His body was about to fall. Coincidentally, Yang Wu's attack came again. Die! Yang Wu released the will of the Death Dao of the Life and Death Dao, instantly destroying the last bit of the Voidwalker's will to live. The Voidwalker saw himself falling into hell, unable to escape. The sword light fell on his head, splitting his body into two halves. Puff! The Voidwalker's cloak couldn't block it. His body was split into two halves, and his blood splashed all over the sky. The raging flame tiger and Lai Feng stopped in their tracks. They looked at the scene in bewilderment, completely scared out of their wits. Yu Huahong's arrow was blocked by the Crown Princess. The people in the distance also saw this scene, and they were all scared out of their wits. Time seemed to stop at this scene forever. It was something they would never forget for the rest of their lives. Yang Wu had exhausted all of his energy. His body was on the verge of collapsing. His situation wasn't good. Just as he was refining the Saint Stones and second-grade immortal liquid to recover, a meteor-like power attacked. The opponent's timing was too good. A sword pierced Yang Wu's back, piercing through his broken ancient armor. A tyrannical lightning power wreaked havoc on Yang Wu's body. This was a fatal blow. Little Wu Zi. The Crown Princess looked at this scene and felt like her heart was being torn apart. She screamed, and the hair changed its direction to attack the person who had ambushed Yang Wu. That person was wearing a full set of armor, including a helmet. He didn't want to be ambushed by others. However, the power of the hair was too strong. Even his helmet couldn't block it. His soul seemed to be pierced. That person was shocked and wanted to grab Yang Wu and run away. Who would have thought that vines would suddenly shoot out from Yang Wu's body towards him, and there was also a tyrannical and evil power that enveloped him. The sacred mandala flower attack. She couldn't just watch Yang Wu be killed. They were master and servant, and their relationship was bound together. The holy mandala flower's thorns couldn't pierce through the man's armor, but it was able to bind him. Furthermore, the poison spread through his body, scaring him. Bolts of lightning flowed through his body, blowing apart the holy mandala flower's vines and blocking the evil aura. At this moment, the Crown Princess had already charged over. A tyrannical fist energy blasted towards him. That person was helpless. He turned around and fought the Crown Princess head-on. His body was forced back, and his sword was also forced out from Yang Wu's body. He couldn't cut Yang Wu into pieces with a single slash. The sacred mandala flower protected its master. The opponent didn't have such a chance. Zi Jingtian, how dare you? Blood Knife, Mad Lion, what are you waiting for? The Crown Princess shouted. Two figures rushed out and charged towards Zi Jingtian, who was retreating. Blood Knife and Wild Lion had already sworn an oath curse. Although it was not as severe as becoming a puppet, if Yang Wu died and they failed to protect their master, they would also be punished by the oath curse. Even if they did not die, their hearts of martial arts would be blocked. Blood Knife, Mad Lion, and the others betrayed the ancient Void City. They deserve to die. Don't you want the Void Body Tempering Art? Zi Jingtian shouted. Then, he said to the other commanders, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and kill them. Get the fourth stage of the body tempering art. Yu Huahong, Lai Feng, and the violent flame tiger came back to their senses and attacked again. Taking advantage of the fact that Yang Wu was severely injured and the Crown Princess wasn't in a good condition, they could take them down if they worked together. Moreover, besides the commanders, there were several Heavenly King realm experts. They were the assistants of their camps, and their fighting strength was only slightly weaker than them. Even if they had Blood Knife and Mad Lion, they couldn't stop them. Just as these people surrounded them, Yang Wu was recovering at full speed. With the immortal root and the healing effect of the second-grade immortal liquid, he could recover in a short time, no matter how serious his injuries were. The Crown Princess's recovery ability wasn't any worse than his. She shouted domineeringly, "Today, I'll slaughter you chickens and dogs." The Crown Princess released an Emperor's Chi. There was Dragon Chi rising, Qilin descending, and Fist Dao shocking the sky. She fought against Zi Jingtian and Yu Huahong. On the other side, Blood Knife and Mad Lion were fighting against Lai Feng and the violent Flame Tiger. Several other Heavenly King Realm experts were attacking Yang Wu. "Shao Man, buy me some time," Yang Wu said to the Sacred Mandala Flower. The Sacred Mandala Flower also got the taste of Yang Wu's immortal root and immortal Qi. It grew with Yang Wu and reached the pinnacle of the Saint Realm, not far from the immortal realm. Moreover, she was one of the 10 great evil plants. Her fighting strength wasn't ordinary, and it was easy for her to fight against several half-step immortal realm experts. The sky was filled with vines, and the omnipresent poison barrier made it difficult for the experts to get close. They could only use their weapons to attack Yang Wu's location. They wanted to kill her and Yang Wu together. The Sacred Mandala Flower released petals, forming a powerful defense. Waves of evil Qi were released, shrouding the space. At the same time, many vines were attacking them. The Sacred Mandala Flower's realm was slightly weaker than theirs. She had a chance of winning in a one-on-one fight, but in a 1-on-5 fight, she was struggling and couldn't hold on for long. This little bit of time was enough to change many things. Yang Wu mobilized his immortal root, and wisps of immortal Qi nourished the places where he was injured by the Void Walker and Zi Jingtian. The wounds were too deep. Even with the immortal root and second-grade immortal liquid, it would take some time to heal. Moreover, he had used up all his strength, so he needed to refine a large number of Saint Stones to replenish it. He also needed to absorb the void energy around him to replenish his strength. His injuries and strength were recovering rapidly. "Faster, faster!" Yang Wu shouted in his heart. "Get out of the way. Wait for me to break through this evil flower's power." One of the Heavenly King stage powerhouses shouted out as he raised his Heavenly Civ Divine Umbrella and charged towards the Sacred Mandala Flower and Yang Wu. The tip of the umbrella transformed into a long beam of light as it tore through the petals of the Sacred Mandala Flower, aiming for Yang Wu's head. Die. Chapter 1392. This Heavenly King stage powerhouse's battle prowess was not to be underestimated, and as the Heavenly Net Divine Umbrella spun, many of the flower vines were sliced apart, and the tip of the spear pierced through the petals, shooting towards Yang Wu. A destructive force was about to enter Yang Wu's forehead. The Sacred Mandala Flower cried out, "Master, be careful!" She spat out a large amount of evil Qi, containing a corrosive poison and thick demonic Qi, but it was still blocked by the Heavenly Net Divine Umbrella. This was a divine tier battle weapon, and even the Sacred Mandala Flower could not destroy it. Seeing that it was about to reach Yang Wu opened his eyes, and a surge of energy flowed through his body. He pressed a palm on the Heavenly Net Divine Umbrella, forcefully suppressing its attack, and shouted, "Do you think I'm a sick cat?" Yang Wu's other hand retracted, and he punched out heavily towards the Heavenly Net Divine Umbrella. Pung! After the Heavenly Net Divine Umbrella was hit by Yang Wu's overbearing punch, it rippled, and the recoil caused the Heavenly King stage powerhouse's arm to go numb, and he was forced to retreat. The Heavenly Net Divine Umbrella revealed a look of surprise, and he once again activated it with all his might, sending out waves of umbrella light towards Yang Wu to kill him. Yang Wu did not want to waste any more time, and he drew his Big Dipper sword and slashed downwards. In a flash, the Heavenly Net Divine Umbrella was sliced in half, and even the Heavenly King stage powerhouse behind it was sliced in half, dying with his eyes wide open. Yang Wu's powerful attack gave the Heavenly King stage powerhouses a huge fright. Nether Ice-Winged Blade. God-Beating Whip. The formless ice-winged blade slashed out from left and right, and the two pairs of wings were like peerless blades, killing 2 Heavenly King stage powerhouses. The god-beating whip rose into the air, continuously whipping the souls of the 2. These Heavenly King stage powerhouses were not weak, and each of them had their own trump card. However, facing such a strange attack from Yang Wu, not everyone was able to withstand it. One of the Heavenly Kings who had already been poisoned by the sacred mandala flower's poison was sliced in half by the Nether ice-winged blade, while another had his soul whipped by the god's striking whip, his body twitching as he fell to the side. The other 2 reacted quickly and dodged. 100 radiant blades kill. Dragon-slaying killing technique. The 2 of them unleashed their strongest peerless skills and talents at the same time, joining forces to kill Yang Wu. Streaks of white light transformed into hundreds of sharp blades, each of which was tens of thousands of feet long. They all shot towards Yang Wu. On the other side, a long spear pierced through the body of a true dragon and split it in half. The sharp power was enough to slay a dragon and kill a god. Yang Wu had only recovered 50% of his strength. If he were to meet force with force, he could barely block it, and he might even be injured. Fortunately, he had cultivated the void shuttling technique, which was comparable to his instant talent. He had escaped into the void node when these 2 attacks had arrived. Not only had he dodged these 2 attacks, but he had also appeared beside one of them. Then, he had slashed down with the star-swallowing sword technique again. That destructive power had reaped the life of another person. The other person was frightened. How could he block Yang Wu's attack alone? He ran away without hesitation. "Can you escape?" Yang Wu said coldly. He entered the void node, and caught up with the other person in the blink of an eye, killing him on the spot. The other 2 who were injured did not participate in the encirclement. They were so scared that they wet their pants. They hurriedly used their ultimate skills to escape. They ran as fast as they could, afraid that they would be killed by Yang Wu together. This time, Yang Wu did not chase after them. He wanted to save some energy to deal with the others. Now that the Crown Princess was fighting against 2 people, she seemed to be having a hard time. Zi Jingtian's attacks were not inferior to the Crown Princess's, and Yu Huahong's attacks were hard to block. If it wasn't for the fact that the Crown Princess could enter the Void Node, she would have been killed. The Crown Princess's strength was almost depleted. She wanted to enter the Void Node to kill Yu Huahong, but she was dodged by her opponent every time. If this continued, it wouldn't be good for her. Zi Jingtian took advantage of the Crown Princess's weakness and attacked her vital points with the purple lightning sword. Zi Jingtian's strength was indeed extraordinary, and he had many tricks up his sleeves. The Crown Princess's attacks had all failed to hit him. Yang Wu rushed over. A ray of light flashed and shone in all directions, slashing towards Zi Jingtian. When Zi Jingtian felt the threat, he immediately changed his direction to block Yang Wu's attack. Clank! The 2 swords clashed and sparks flew. Yang Wu's Big Dipper sword actually did not break Zi Jingtian's purple lightning sword. It was enough to show that the grade of the other party's divine sword was not inferior to his Big Dipper sword. "Your recovery ability is so fast?" Zi Jingtian cried out in surprise. "Sorry to disappoint you," Yang Wu replied coldly. He executed the void hand and slapped towards Zi Jingtian. Zi Jingtian wanted to kill him not because of the Voidwalker's death, but because of his lightning embryo. The lightning domain appeared around Zi Jingtian, blocking the power of the void hand and preventing it from injuring him. Yang Wu rushed over and attacked continuously. He was determined to kill Zi Jingtian. The pressure on the Crown Princess was greatly reduced. She stared at Yu Huahong and shouted, "I'm going to kill you." Yu Huahong knew the Crown Princess's strength. When he heard her shout, he was so frightened that he quickly turned around and fled. The Void Envoy was killed. If no other experts came out, they wouldn't be able to deal with Yang Wu and the Crown Princess. The Crown Princess didn't chase after Yu Huahong. She looked at him and spat, "Coward, you're not even comparable to a child." The Crown Princess didn't care about the battle between Blood Knife, Mad Lion, and the others. She turned around and looked at Yang Wu. She didn't hesitate to attack Zi Jingtian together. Yang Wu and the Crown Princess were enough to kill the Voidwalker. How could Zi Jingtian dare to stop them? He fled towards the direction of the ancient city hall. "Chase after me if you have the ability," Zi Jingtian shouted provocatively. Yang Wu wanted to chase after Zi Jingtian and kill him, but he was stopped by the Crown Princess. "Don't chase. The ancient city hall will react. Let's leave this place immediately," the Crown Princess said to Yang Wu. Sure enough, there was a fluctuation of void force in the ancient city hall. It was as though someone was about to appear from the void. The commotion was so great that all the living beings in the ancient city could sense it. The terrifying pressure caused many living beings to tremble in fear. "Let's go." Yang Wu didn't hesitate to grab the Crown Princess's hand and fled through the void force. He couldn't care less about Blood Knife, Mad Lion, and the people from Wu Ho Camp. He only hoped that the people from Wu Ho Camp wouldn't be implicated. That might just be an extravagant hope. Blood Knife and Mad Lion were also fleeing for their lives. If they could escape from the ancient city, they might still have a chance of survival. The void force was constantly changing. A void hole appeared in the sky above the ancient city hall. A large amount of void force kept entering the void hole, especially the Voidwalker's broken body and broken soul. All of them entered the void hole. Soon, the Voidwalker's body was reconstructed. His vitality was slowly recovering. When the crowd saw this scene, they all revealed an incomparably shocked expression. The dead were reborn. What kind of heaven-defying technique was this? Yang Wu turned around to take a look. He was also shocked by this heaven-defying technique. "Is this possible?" Yang Wu exclaimed. "Don't look. This is the technique of an immortal." "We are still far away," the Crown Princess replied. Just as Yang Wu and the Crown Princess were about to rush out of the ancient city, the void ancient city's formation reversed and began to seal the entrance and exit of the city. The Voidwalker's voice rang out again. "Traitors, you can't escape. The formation will destroy you." The void hole twisted and cracked. Even Yang Wu and the Crown Princess, who were shuttling through the void hole, were affected. Moreover, they would be killed by this terrifying power. This was the true power of the Voidwalker. This peerless formation could destroy all living things. "It's over." Yang Wu felt a great pressure. The power of the void was in chaos. They were forced to retreat from the void. 1,000 feet away was the outside of the ancient city. 1,000 feet was a distance they could cross in the blink of an eye. But now, they could only watch helplessly as the array formation blocked their path. "Formation breaking talisman. Go!" the Empress roared. She crushed something in her hand, and an inexplicable divine force was born. It carried them into the formation, protecting them as they charged through. All of this happened in an instant. Before Yang Wu could react, he found himself outside the void ancient city. "What's going on?" Yang Wu was stunned for a moment. "Don't ask. I'll tell you when we're far away," the Crown Princess replied. She took Yang Wu and continued to flee. They didn't want to stay here for even a moment longer. The Voidwalker's voice rang out from the ancient city. "Everyone, go capture Yang Wu and Du Shaojing. Whoever kills them will obtain the top 4 levels of the body tempering art." This wasn't the only thing the Voidwalker had. He also sent out several god-class puppets to join the hunt. These puppets contained the Voidwalker's will, so they couldn't be controlled by anyone else. The Voidwalker didn't leave the ancient city. He was the guardian here. Once he left, he wouldn't be able to revive if he was killed. The incident between Yang Wu and the Crown Princess was too serious. The people in the Wu Ho camp were destined to be greatly affected. It was a pity that the two of them couldn't care less. This wasn't their intention. The ancient city didn't allow the Void unique skill to be exposed. Those who weren't of the Void lineage couldn't cultivate it. As for whether a Void real god had anything to do with the ancient city, only he knew. Yang Wu and the Crown Princess passed through layers of the void and returned to the Void Palace directly. They then heaved a sigh of relief. This soul-stirring battle really scared them out of their wit. I've implicated me, Jia, and the others. Yang Wu wiped away his sadness. If he hadn't performed the Hand of the Void, they wouldn't have suffered such a disaster. What's the point of saying this now? They might not be in any danger. At most, they'll be soul-searched, the Crown Princess replied indifferently. Why are you so cold-blooded? Yang Wu wasn't in a good mood. He shouted at the Crown Princess unhappily. How am I cold-blooded? I'm telling the truth. They used to be your subordinates. If something happens to them, won't you be sad? If being sad is useful, I'll show you how sad I am every day. Chapter 1393. Compared to Empress, Yang Wu was still a bit soft-hearted. Yang Wu was rendered speechless by the princess for a long time. He simply fell to the ground and closed his eyes, no longer arguing with her. Empress could see that Yang Wu was in a bad mood, so she also closed her mouth and lay down beside him. Unknowingly, Yang Wu fell asleep. The repeated consumption of his body and soul had hollowed out his body. Even if he recovered, he was still quite tired. Now that his body and mind were relaxed, it was normal for him to fall asleep. Empress didn't fall asleep. She blinked and looked at Yang Wu, not knowing what she was thinking. Don't worry. They cultivate the void tempering technique and belong to that faction. As long as they don't do anything against that faction, they won't be directly erased. Don't worry. When Yang Wu woke up, Empress was nowhere to be found. I actually fell asleep, Yang Wu muttered as he patted his cheeks. He woke up and sat down to meditate to recover. After a few extreme circulatory cycles, he was finally full of energy again. There is no limit to martial arts. I'm still too weak. I have to continue to advance. Yang Wu muttered to himself and took out a jade box. Inside was the Emperor Jade's profound essence. As long as he absorbed it, the Regal 9 profound arts level would rise again. It would definitely help him reach the next level. Yang Wu didn't absorb it immediately. Instead, he went to find Empress, apologized to her, and asked her to protect him. Only then could he concentrate on cultivation. Before he went to find her, she had already walked out of the hall. Are you okay? Empress asked. I'm fine. Yang Wu responded and said, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that to you. You're a good child if you know you're wrong. Empress smiled and replied. Yang Wu didn't argue with her. He told her about his preparations for seclusion. It just so happened that she was also going into seclusion. The two of them each found a seclusion place and entered a state of seclusion. The Void Palace was located in a void mezzanine. Even true gods would not easily enter such a place. Plus, the Void Palace was protected by a void god array. It was hard to discover its existence. There was basically no need to worry about being disturbed while cultivating in the Void Palace. Otherwise, the Void Palace would have been discovered long ago after floating around for so many years. After Yang Wu adjusted his state to its peak, he used the power of restriction to seal the surroundings to prevent the Emperor Jade Xian essence from escaping when he opened the Jade Box. Some mysterious essence qi could already condense intelligence and transform into living beings. The Netherworld mysterious essence qi was the best example. Yang Wu had to be on guard. When the Jade Box was opened, a dark green light shone in the seclusion room. A gentle power filled every corner of the room. A crystal of jade energy stayed in the Jade Box, emitting waves of colorful light. It was intoxicating. At this moment, Yang Wu's Regal 9 Mysteries formula was running crazily in his body. It was constantly absorbing the power of the Emperor Jade Xian essence qi. It was like a starving wolf that had encountered delicious food and was desperately devouring it. Yes, this is the Emperor Jade Xian essence qi. Yang Wu was overjoyed. He placed the Emperor Jade Xian essence qi in his dantian and crazily absorbed it. The Emperor Jade Xian essence qi's power wasn't wild and didn't have intelligence. It only contained pure Xian essence qi power that could be easily absorbed. When this gentle power entered his meridians, the Regal Nine Mysteries formula smoothly merged with it. The absorption speed increased crazily. Every time the Regal Nine Mysteries formula received a mysterious essence qi, its absorption speed would skyrocket. This was the benefit of leveling up. Before Yang Wu could rejoice, his body underwent a shocking change at this moment. The Jade Qi contained in the Emperor Jade Xian's essence Qi seemed to come alive in an instant, covering his meridians, skin, flesh, and internal organs with a layer of jade-colored crystals, as if to completely turn him into a Jade Man. This was the special characteristic of the Jade Emperor clan. When Yang Wu saw this situation with his inner vision, he instantly panicked. The Emperor Jade Xian essence Qi had the effect of turning into jade. What should he do? Refine it? Yang Wu was anxious. He could only increase the speed of the Regal Nine Mysteries formula. However, the faster he moved, the faster he petrified. Not long after, his entire body turned into a dark green color. Moreover, there were pieces of jade crystals condensing and wrapping around his body. His body couldn't move at all. What is going on? Yang Wu was completely panicking. He had absorbed many different types of Xian essence qi, but this was the first time he had encountered such a situation. While he was at a loss, the immortal immortality peach tree once again displayed its miraculous side. It devoured the power of the Xian essence qi. Master, this is the Emperor Jade Xian essence qi. It contains the essence of jade. Your body can't turn into a deity, so you'll have to absorb it bit by bit. It will only benefit you. The immortal immortality peach tree's voice sounded. I'm already like this. How can it benefit me? Yang Wu asked. The Tao of Emperor Jade can form an Emperor Jade battle armor. Its defense is unparalleled, the immortal immortality peach tree replied. Yang Wu asked it if it had a way to quickly dissolve his body. It didn't have a way. Only creatures like it, who could fuse all kinds of powers, could ignore the corrosion of these powers. In fact, this jade-like state didn't affect Yang Wu's movements. The only thing that made him depressed was that he couldn't use the power of his dantian. The power that he had recovered with great difficulty was completely suppressed. Moreover, this jade-like body made him feel at a loss. Thus, he continued to focus on refining the Emperor Jade Xian essence qi. He believed that the revered Nine Mysteries mantra would have a way to dissolve it. When the Emperor Jade Xian essence qi was completely refined, Yang Wu became a jade person. Jade crystal armor formed all over his body. He felt as if he had completely become a member of the Jade Emperor clan. He didn't even dare to run out and see people. Just because he didn't run out didn't mean that the Empress wouldn't come to see him. After the Empress came out of seclusion, she immediately appeared in front of him. Seeing him like this, she couldn't help but laugh. Jade Spirit Clan's little brother is so handsome. Yang Wu was so ashamed that he wanted to find a hole to hide in. He didn't want to see people anymore. Stop laughing. Hurry up and think of a way to deal with this. Yang Wu was helpless. He could only ask the Empress for help. He found that the revered Nine Mysteries mantra didn't work after fusing with the Emperor Jade Xian essence qi. With his current state, he was extremely distressed. This is pretty good. Let me test your defense. The Empress replied. She raised her small hand and slapped toward Yang Wu. Bang! The Empress's slap wasn't weak. It sent Yang Wu dozens of feet back, and he even fell. Murder for money! Yang Wu shouted. It won't hurt you. I used 70% of my strength in that slap just now, but it still couldn't break through your jade crystal armor. It's indeed powerful, the Empress replied. Yang Wu got up and patted the jade crystal armor on his body. It seemed that it was really sturdy. The power of that slap just now didn't hurt him at all. Try a few times with your full strength, Yang Wu suggested. You said it. I won't be responsible if you cripple me. As the Empress spoke, she had already attacked. Bang! Bang! The Empress's attacks were very fast and domineering. Every slap sent Yang Wu flying. Yang Wu was not familiar with his current body. He was slapped all over the place, and it took him a lot of effort to stop. How do you feel? The Empress stopped and asked. Are you sure you used your full strength? Yang Wu calmed himself down and asked. Of course I used my full strength. Looks like this thing is still useful. I'm not injured. The defensive armor of the Jade Spirit race is unparalleled in the world. Naturally, it's useful. So, you have to maintain this. At least there won't be too many people who can kill you. Are you cursing me? In the following days, Yang Wu began to familiarize himself with his jade-like physique. He tried to figure out how to integrate this jade-like power into his dantian or form his own innate defensive power. In this way, he would be able to effectively use the jade-like ability. After trying again and again, Yang Wu finally found a way to break through. This jade-like power covered his entire body. He had to shatter this jade-like power, liquefy it, and guide it into his dantian. If he shattered this jade-like power, it would at least injure him. In the worst case, it would destroy his body. The method Yang Wu thought of was to use the power of the heavenly thunderbone to dissolve this jade-like power. He only found this method after his heavenly thunderbone's power dissolved the jade-like power on his bones. So, he used the power of thunder and lightning to replace the jade-like power in every part of his body. Other than the power of thunder and lightning, he could also use the power of Lan Jiaoji to dissolve the jade-like power as well. With these two methods, a lot of the jade-like power dissolved into liquid and was crazily guided into his dantian. Finally, he refined it. However, when he thought that he had refined all of the jade-like power, he found that there was still some jade-like power in one of the acupuncture points on his chest. Moreover, it had fused with the acupuncture point, forming a dark green whirlpool that contained a shocking amount of power. Yang Wu carefully observed it and was overjoyed. Could it be that this acupuncture point's innate talent has been awakened by the jade-like power? Thinking of this, Yang Wu poured power into the acupuncture point. The jade-like power in the acupuncture point spread out and instantly covered his skin and flesh, forming a thick layer of jade-like armor. This time, only his skin and flesh had become jade-like. His organs had not become jade-like. This was a big change. Yang Wu pulled back the power in the acupuncture point. The jade-like power retreated like a tide and merged into the acupuncture point. The jade-like armor was also digested. Haha, since the celestial moon in mirror innate talent was activated last time, I now have a defensive innate talent, Jade Crystal Armor. It shouldn't be called Emperor Jade Battle Armor, Yang Wu shouted with wild joy. Don't be so happy. We've been here for a long time. We can't go back to the Void Ancient City. We have to find another way. Chapter 1394. Yang Wu and the Crown Princess left the Void Palace. They went to a ruin that the Crown Princess had discovered long ago. It was in the periphery of the storm space, very close to the demon race's territory. Before heading to the ruins, Yang Wu and the Crown Princess first made a trip to the Thunder Space. He wanted to find the cat demon. This was a creature whose battle prowess was comparable to a god-tier creature. He could not let it go to waste. The cat demon and Yang Wu had signed a contract. She couldn't go against Yang Wu's orders. She waited for Yang Wu in the lightning space for a long time. Only when Yang Wu came to find her did she leave with him. Yang Wu had wandered in the Void Crack for half a year. He had also stayed in the Void Palace with the Crown Princess for another half a year. He had been delayed for 1.5 years. Yang Wu had been in the Divine Firmament battlefield for 2 years. Yang Wu couldn't wait to leave this place and return to the Transcendence. Now, the ancient city hall was no longer feasible. He had to find another way to leave. With the Void Palace, it wasn't difficult for them to get to the ruin site. It didn't take long either. Yang Wu and the Crown Princess rode on the cat demon and descended toward the ruin site. Yang Wu sat in the back while the Crown Princess sat in the front. They were like a pair of siblings. No one would think anything of it. Yang Wu also didn't think anything of it. Although the crown princess was old, Yang Wu still treated her like a little girl. After all, she looked like she was only 7 or 8 years old. The crown princess's thoughts were different. She lay in Yang Wu's arms, her heart pounding. This was the first time she was so intimate with a man. If this spread back to the celestial world, it would cause a huge uproar. Why do you think that the ruined site can return to the human world? Yang Wu interrupted the crown princess's chaotic thoughts. This old lady knows a bit about formations. That place is definitely a void formation, and it was built by the human race. If it's not the divine world, then it's the human world. I think it's more likely to be the latter. She paused for a moment before adding, if it weren't for the fact that you wanted to return to the human world, I wouldn't even bother to come to this place. There's nothing good here, and there's also a large number of demons. I'm tired of looking at them. I hope it's as you say. Yang Wu sighed. Don't worry. Even if this path doesn't work, we can still find another way. The Empress comforted. If there was another way, those ancient cities wouldn't have controlled everything here. Yang Wu responded. He saw the ruins in front of him. It was shrouded in a lot of devil chi. He could only vaguely see some traces of the foundations of buildings. Other than these traces, there was really nothing special about it. Some demons were active in this area, and not far from here was the ancient city of the demons. It wasn't easy for Yang Wu and the crown princess to get close. The cat demon couldn't restrain all of her devil chi. Wherever she went, she would definitely be discovered. She had no choice but to act as bait to attract the attention of the demons. She would lead them away and create an opportunity for Yang Wu and the crown princess. The appearance of the cat demon had indeed attracted the attention of the devil race. Especially after she had killed dozens of devil race experts, she had attracted the attention of the devil race experts to hunt her down. The cat demon didn't kill them all in one go. Instead, she lured them all away. Yang Wu and the crown princess quickly sneaked toward the ruins. The crown princess quickly brought Yang Wu to the center of the ruins. She removed some of the concealment, revealing deep runes. She pointed at the runes and said, "This ruins is a void formation. This place is so close to the demon's territory. If we want to activate this void formation, I'm afraid it'll be too difficult." Yang Wu frowned. It's not that there's no way. We can draw the power of the storm space here and isolate the demon's senses. Perhaps it'll work. The crown princess pointed at the storm space in the distance. This challenge is even more difficult. Yang Wu clicked his tongue. It's a bit difficult, but all we need is a wind-guiding stone and a wind-guiding formation. The crown princess said. You have a way? If I didn't, I wouldn't have asked you to come. But before I set up the formation, you must protect me. That's not a problem. No matter how many demons come, I'll clear them all for you. How domineering. Then let's begin. The crown princess began to set up a wind-guiding formation nearby. First, this space would become a part of the storm space. Only after the demons were forced to leave could they think of a way to repair the void formation. Yang Wu released the sacred mandala flower and began to protect the crown princess. After coming to this place, he felt an inexplicable emotion. It was as if there was a faint familiar aura in this place that originated from his bloodline. Unfortunately, it wasn't too obvious, so he thought it might be an illusion. Don't let me down. Yang Wu sat cross-legged on a stone and thought to himself. The crown princess wanted to set up a formation, so naturally it would cause some disturbance. Demons not far away from the demon city sensed the disturbance and came to investigate. Before they could get close, they were bound by the vines of the sacred mandala flower, strangled or stabbed to death. Ordinary demons couldn't threaten the sacred mandala flower at all, nor could they escape from her. This was the case no matter how many came. The sacred mandala flower's fighting strength was equivalent to a heavenly king stage existence. After waves of demons were killed, It finally attracted the attention of the demon race powerhouses. A Heavenly King stage powerhouse from the Silver Horn demon race led an army out. These demons were different from the ones in the transcendent world, but the demonic chi on their bodies was exactly the same. The evil mandala flower is actually such a thing. How did it grow here? The Heavenly King stage powerhouse from the Silver Horn demon race looked at the sacred mandala flower from afar and was shocked. The evil mandala flower was very scary, and many demons didn't want to provoke it. If they hadn't sensed the presence of humans nearby, they would have gone around it. A human dares to cause trouble in our territory? He's courting death. Another demon powerhouse shouted. Therefore, some demons flew over, wanting to go around the attack of the sacred mandala flower. Who knew that the sacred mandala flower would grow crazily, and its vines would pierce the demons? The distance of tens of thousands of feet was covered in the blink of an eye. Roar! When the vines pierced their bodies, their vitality was directly devoured. The shriveled bodies of demons hung in the air, looking very scary. Evil mandala flower, how dare you behave so atrociously in our territory? I'll kill you too. The silver horn demon roared. A god-grade devil weapon flew out and slashed towards the sacred mandala flower. The sacred mandala flower sent out many vines to entangle the divine demon weapon. The divine demon weapon was also very powerful. It cut off all the vines and she couldn't do anything to it. Just as the divine demon weapon was about to land on the core of the sacred mandala flower, the four-eyed cat demon rushed out and attacked the silver horn demon race. Mao Fei, why are you here? The silver horn demon race saw the four-eyed cat demon and cried out. Obviously, he recognized the four-eyed cat demon. The four-eyed cat demon ignored him and turned into a cat shadow to grab him. The silver horn demon race had to withdraw his divine demon weapon and fight the four-eyed cat demon. The four-eyed cat demon was called Mao Fei. She was a commander-level figure of the demon race. She was stronger than the silver horn demon race. Yang Wu looked at the intense battle and didn't participate. He opened his soul eye and looked at the ruins carefully. He felt that the ruins weren't as simple as the Empress said. It was just a void array. Wherever his soul eye passed by, he could indeed see many traces of array patterns. There were damaged array patterns, chaotic array patterns that covered an area of 10 miles. There were also some traces of the foundations of buildings that occupied an area larger than the area of the Great Array. This is the construction site of a palace. There is no mistake about it. The Great Formation is outside the construction site. The two must be together. Little Jingjing is sure that this is a void Great Formation. However, I don't know why it is built like this. Yang Wu pondered in his heart. While he was thinking, many demon race creatures came out. The battle between Mao Fei and the silver horn demon race creatures caused a big commotion. The demon race creatures were always united against outsiders. Naturally, there would be many helpers. Little Jingjing, how much longer do you need to set up the wind guiding array? Yang Wu asked the Empress. 1 more day. The Empress replied. Okay, I'll block for you for 1 day. Yang Wu replied and passed through the void. He descended on the head of the silver horn demon race creature that was fighting the most fiercely with Mao Fei. He pulled out the double-edged three-dragon spear and stabbed it down from the top of his head. He skewered this silver horn demon race creature like a dumpling. Yang Wu killed a Heavenly King realm demon race creature in 1 move, scaring the other demon race creatures that came. Those who cross the line will be killed. Yang Wu waved the double-edged three-dragon spear and left a deep fissure in the ground. He stared coldly at the demon race creatures. Many of the devil race living beings were stunned. The strength of this young human was too terrifying. Who would dare to fight with him? After a long while, one of the demon race creatures rushed over. You dare to be so arrogant in my race's territory. Wait for this king to kill you. This demon race creature was very fast. He raised a pair of deity-level demon weapons and slashed at Yang Wu angrily. This was also a Heavenly King realm demon race creature. Void Hand. Yang Wu waited until the other party rushed over the fissure in the ground before he made his move. A void hand slapped over furiously, smashing this demon race creature to the ground. Without waiting for the devil race to get up, several more void hand seals angrily slapped towards him. Even the void hand seals cracked open. The devil race's tough physique couldn't withstand the pressure of the void hand seals. His devil race's body was smashed into pieces. He couldn't be more dead. Yang Wu didn't move half a step from his original position. He killed this Heavenly King realm demon race creature. This shock was even more frightening than when he ambushed the silver horn demon race creature just now. A cloud of demonic fog surged over, and a cold voice sounded. "Human, do you want to start a war between the two races?" Chapter 1395. There was no lack of experts in the demon race, and they were generally stronger than humans. The devil clan creature that came out of the devil mist was a true god-level creature, which was several times more powerful than the silver horn devil clan creature. Yang Wu saw through the demon fog, and discovered that it was a sky tyrant demon. It was much larger than the sky tyrant demons he had encountered before, and its form was even more perfect. Those who cross the line will die. Yang Wu did not want to explain to the other party, and coldly said to the sky tyrant demon while hugging his spear, "This is my race's territory, and you still dare to be so impudent. Hurry up and scram, or I will kill you." The sky tyrant demon could see that Yang Wu was full of confidence, and did not act rashly. Instead, it shouted at Yang Wu to leave. Yang Wu was indifferent, and was still admiring the sacred mandala flower slowly devouring the silver horn demon race's body. "Master, let me eat him, and I will have hope of reaching the god realm." The sacred mandala flower looked greedily at the sky tyrant demon and said, "Okay, then he will die even if he crosses the line." Yang Wu straightforwardly replied, and attacked the sky tyrant demon. Luo Water Spear Execution. Luo Water Spear Dao. After Yang Wu comprehended the Luo Water Spear Dao in the Peace Shrine, the power of his spear technique became even stronger. With a thrust of his spear, it was as if a Luo river was hanging upside down, and attacked the sky tyrant demon. "Kill!" The sky tyrant demon shouted, and raised his demonic hammer to fight with Yang Wu. Yang Wu's Luo river collided with the opponent's sky tyrant hammer, and immediately exploded, with a lot of power splashing out. This sky tyrant demon was indeed powerful, and at the same time it scattered Yang Wu's power, it immediately used a powerful technique. Balls of demon fog covered the heaven and earth, trapping Yang Wu inside, and constantly making him lose his direction. There was also demonic chi corroding his body, and the demonic hammer continuously struck out from the darkness, determined to kill Yang Wu. Yang Wu ignored the demonic fog, and escaped into the void. When he reappeared, he was already behind the sky tyrant demon, and the double-blade three-dragon spear fiercely stabbed at the opponent. Ding-dong! The double-blade three-dragon spear seemed to pierce through the thick armor, and created sparks, but it did not kill the sky tyrant demon. This was the third form of the sky tyrant demon armor, and its defensive power. The celestial tyrant demon did not even think as he turned around and smashed his hammer towards Yang Wu. At the same time, his tail also stabbed towards Yang Wu's body like a thorn. The double attack made it impossible for Yang Wu to dodge. "You're not the only one with a strong defense," Yang Wu shouted in surprise. He also activated his Jade transformation talent, intending to compare the toughness of his armor with his opponent. Emperor's armor layer after layer of jade crystal armor appeared on Yang Wu's body, tightly wrapping around his body as he took on two of the sky tyrant demons' attack. Of the Luo's armor, Luo Emperor, and Luo Jade Spirit Race? Celestial Tyrant Demon exclaimed. The Jade Spirit Race was actually the Jade Emperor race, a powerful race born from the essence of Jade. Yang Wu took advantage of Heaven Overlord Demon's stupefied state to raise the double-edged Tri-Dragon spear. He raised his fist and punched at his opponent. He wanted to test how strong Yu Hua's combat strength was. The power of the Constitution could only be tested in a head-on clash. The Emperor Jade battle armor wasn't just for defense, it could also be used for offense. Sky Tyrant Devil had always been known for his powerful devil physique. What he was least afraid of was clashing head-on. He clashed head-on with Yang Wu, and the result was a tragedy. Not only did Yang Wu have a perfect holy body, he could even be called a godly body. With the barbaric god arms increased brute force, the destructive power of each of his punches was astonishing. In just 2 or 3 punches, Sky Tyrant Demon was at a loss. "I'll beat the crap out of you. I'll beat you until you cry for your parents. I'll beat you until you kneel and call me daddy." Yang Wu demonstrated violence to the extreme. He shattered Sky Tyrant Devil's devil armor with 1 punch and shattered his opponent's chest with 1 punch. He was simply torturing his opponent. Sky Tyrant Devil's strength wasn't weak at all, and his defense wasn't weak either. He risked injury to counterattack Yang Wu, wanting to blow him up with 1 punch. In the end, the two powers weren't even on the same level. Even if he was a devil god, he wasn't as terrifying as Yang Wu's pure physical strength. He had no choice but to give up on the idea of a head-on clash. Countless devil chi was released again, and the devil hammer carried a tyrannical power as it smashed down on Yang Wu. Yang Wu didn't want to play around either. He sensed that there were devil race creatures surrounding the sacred mandala flower and Mao Fei. They wanted to break through them to attack the Empress. End the battle. Yang Wu escaped into the void and circled to a place where Sky Tyrant Devil didn't expect. Holding the Big Dipper sword, he chopped off Sky Tyrant Devil's head. Sky Tyrant Devil wasn't dead yet. He spat out a mouthful of devil chi. This was a power that contained devil curse and corrosive power. When he spat out this power, his head quickly flew away. The devil curse's power was extraordinary, but it still couldn't pose a threat to Yang Wu. The deity-beating whip flew out and shattered the devil curse. A void hand slapped out angrily and smashed the Sky Tyrant Devil's head that flew away. After Yang Wu took down Sky Tyrant Devil, he turned around and killed the other devil race creatures. These devil race creatures couldn't do much. After a dozen of them were killed by Yang Wu, they were completely flustered. The devil race creatures were completely terrified and returned to the devil city dejectedly. For the time being, no devil race creatures dared to attack again. Sky Tyrant Devil was already one of the most powerful representatives of their devil race. Even he was defeated there. How could the other devil gods have the guts to come out? However, this didn't mean that the devil race creatures would give up. They would ask the devil race's emissary to come out of the city to deal with them. They definitely wouldn't allow the humans to behave atrociously near their territory. A day passed quickly. Lady finally set up the wind guiding array. The Empress was quite reliable. After putting in a lot of demon cores, the wind started to blow. "You're really something." Yang Wu gave Lady a thumbs up and praised. "Of course. Don't you know who I am? I am the most beautiful lady in the world." Lady raised her head and puffed out her chest proudly. "You're more like the most narcissistic little girl in the world." Yang Wu added, "Little Wu, if you want to die, just say it." Lady gritted her teeth. "I don't want to die. I just want to ask. The wind seems to be a little weak." Yang Wu looked at the wind and said. Lady also felt the wind. Even small saints couldn't threaten it. How could it stop the interference of the devil race creatures? "Let me take a look." Lady flew to the wind guiding array again. After a while, she said, "I know. There's still a big array that isn't done. Give me half a day." "Little Jing Jing, can you be more reliable?" Yang Wu held his forehead and said. He was just praising her. Now he was considering whether or not to take back the praise. Half a day passed quickly. Suddenly, a terrifying storm swept over. This was a power that had been transferred over from the storm space. Even a deity would have to retreat in the face of the storm space's power. Yang Wu didn't hesitate to take the holy mandala flower and Mao Fei far away. The Empress also ran out from the formation and shouted, "Little Wu, do you still have any conscience? I worked so hard to set up the formation for you, and you didn't even help me. Do you want me to be ground into meat paste? Little Jing Jing, your wind guiding array is too domineering. How are we going to repair the void array now?" Yang Wu changed the topic. "I accidentally set up a God Realm array. It's normal to attract such a strong wind near the storm space." Lady scratched the back of her head and said embarrassedly. Her wind guiding array was indeed good, but the storm it attracted was too strong. It enveloped the ruins and wreaked havoc. Even God Realm creatures couldn't enter. Originally, they wanted to attract the power of the storm to keep the devil race creatures out of the storm and hide their whereabouts so that they could repair the void array. Now, even they were blocked out of the storm. How were they going to set up the array? Many powerful creatures of the Devil clan flew out of the Devil City. They shrank their formation and didn't easily send out other subordinates to die. They were all Heavenly King Realm creatures. One of them was even a puppet clone of the Devil race emissary. As soon as they left the city, they sensed the storm raging in the ruins. They were all extremely shocked, afraid that the storm would transfer over and wreak havoc on the Devil City. "Don't worry. No matter how strong the storm is, it can't break the Devil City's defensive array," the Devil race emissary said faintly. "It must be that human. We can't let them go," another Devil race creature said. "That cat princess of the Devil race is with them. Could it be that she has discovered the secret of the ruins? Let's go and take a look. I have a feeling that there might be something else in the ruins." Just as Yang Wu and Lady were discussing how to reduce the power of the wind guiding array, the ruins suddenly caved in. Boom! Boom! The land within a radius of dozens of miles collapsed one after another. All traces of the ruins were erased. The void array patterns also shattered and no longer existed. Yang Wu and Lady were both dumbfounded. They wanted to repair the void array and take the opportunity to leave. Who knew that the storm would completely destroy this place? I definitely didn't do it on purpose." Lady looked at the disappointed Yang Wu and said with a drooping face like a child who had done something wrong. "It doesn't have much to do with you. It's impossible to repair and use a place that was destroyed so easily." Yang Wu sighed softly and said, "Let's go and continue to think of a way. If it really doesn't work, we'll kill our way back to the ancient city and occupy it." "That's a good idea. I support you. When you die, I'll definitely erect a hero's tablet for you." Lady flew up and patted Yang Wu's shoulder. "You don't have to erect one. Look, there's a stone tablet over there," Yang Wu exclaimed as he pointed at the center of the ruins, which was ravaged by the storm. Lady turned around and looked. Her small face was also filled with shock. A huge stone tablet appeared in the storm. Around the stone tablet were clusters of void array patterns that blocked the destruction of the storm. That was the real void array. "That's the real void array. I didn't guess wrong," Lady exclaimed. "The god sight has appeared. Haha, this is the god sight of our devil race. Kill these two humans. Don't leak the news." The Devil Race emissaries clone danced and cheered. Chapter 1396. An ancient stone tablet stood motionless in the midst of the storm. For it to be suppressed here, its origins were definitely extraordinary. There was also a spatial formation hovering around here. The veins of the void could be seen clearly, and they were still intact. The formation core was being suppressed by the stone tablet. Yang Wu and Di Qianxue's eyes grew hot. This was the spatial formation they had been waiting for. Just as they were about to charge into the formation, the demon envoy's clone and a group of Heavenly King stage demons charged over. "Prepare to die, human. This is the territory of my race. How dare you commit murder in our territory? You must be tired of living. Attack together. Don't give them a chance to escape. As these demons shouted, divine tier demons attacked. Waves of demonic power enveloped Yang Wu and Di Qianxue. Let's take care of them first, Yang Wu said. Seeing the hope of going back, Yang Wu definitely didn't want to be destroyed by the Devil Clan's creatures. He wanted to kill them. No, there's a demon envoy's clone over there. Even if we're not afraid of him, it'll still be a waste of time. Let's go into the formation, Di Qianxue replied. She grabbed Yang Wu's hand and charged into the storm. The storm here is too powerful. Be careful, Yang Wu warned. At the same time, his body turned into jade. Layers of imperial jade armor wrapped around him. The storm might not be able to harm him. He shielded Di Qianxue behind him, afraid that something would happen to her. In addition, he handed a divine shield to Di Qianxue so that she could carry it, just in case. Di Qianxue looked at the divine shield Yang Wu shoved at her and wanted to say, I have a lot of these things too. However, she swallowed the words that were about to come out of her mouth, and her heart was filled with joy. They barged into the storm together and suffered the onslaught of the storm. Their bodies became unstable. The attacks of the devil race creatures were all blocked by the power of the storm. Step aside and wait for me. That devil emissary shouted and sent out a huge palm. Terrifying devil chi shrouded the storm, preparing to shatter the storm. He was indeed worthy of being an emissary-level expert. The earth-shattering power of the devil palm came crashing down and collided violently with the storm. Rumble, rumble. The strength of this devil emissary clone was not inferior to the strength of the void emissary's true body. This was the strength of the demon race. If the two emissaries were to really fight, the void emissary would definitely not lose, because the void emissary could come and go as he pleased in the void. He had the ability to appear and disappear unpredictably, making it impossible for others to guard against him. In the storm, Yang Wu and the princess were already in a bad situation. Now that they were hit by the power of the devil palm, they were both shaken and almost blown away by the storm. Full speed ahead, Yang Wu shouted. He pulled the Empress and sped up. Under the tyrannical power, they broke through the storm and entered the stone steel. With the wind guiding formation here, the power of the storm would not stop. Even the devil emissary clone could not easily contain it. This place was not far from the storm space. The fact that the wind guiding formation could attract such a terrifying storm was beyond the Empress's expectations. Damn it, you forced me to use my trump card. The devil emissary clone shouted. A devil seal appeared. Under the infusion of his power, the devil seal turned into a devil mountain and suppressed the storm. The devil seal's level was not low. After it turned into a devil mountain, it was able to suppress the storm. The storm could not destroy it. Moreover, the devil seal was also trying to suppress Yang Wu and the Empress. The devil seal was too powerful and occupied too much space. It was too late for them to escape. Let me test its power. Yang Wu shouted and protected the princess behind him. He raised his fist and punched at the demonic seal. Don't fight it head-on, the Empress shouted. Yang Wu had already turned into a black tortoise and fiercely punched the devil seal. Bang! The power of the jade transformation and the power of the barbarian god's arm merged together and exploded like a flood, blasting the devil seal. The power of Yang Wu's punch could kill an ordinary god-level expert. Even a mid-level god-level expert's power could not compare. However, when it landed on the devil seal, it did not move at all. It continued to suppress Yang Wu. Pooh! Yang Wu's jade transformation body was hit. The Emperor Jade battle armor cracked, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. He realized that the devil seal could be a high-level god weapon. Otherwise, its power would not be so terrifying. None of you can escape. This god site belongs to the devil race, the devil emissary clone shouted. Yang Wu retreated. Just as he pulled out the Big Dipper sword and was about to slash at the devil seal, the stone tablet suddenly reacted. Just now, when Yang Wu's blood touched the stone tablet, it was absorbed by the stone tablet, and it began to change. Swish! Swish! Demon slaying! As if a roar from ancient times resounded, 2 words appeared in the void. These 2 words were full of killing power. Each stroke was like a spear. The peerless power destroyed the devil seal. The sharp power fell on the bodies of the devil race and twisted them into pieces on the spot. Even the doppelganger of the devil emissary was no exception. No! The devil emissary's clone could not accept this fact. His clone collapsed as he screamed. Yang Wu and the princess were scared out of their wits. The stone tablet contained such terrifying power that it could kill all the devils in one fell swoop. But the 2 of them were safe and sound. They were so lucky. The demon-slaying stone tablet. Is it specially made to suppress the devils? The princess whispered. Yang Wu did not answer. He looked at the stone tablet. His blood was boiling. He felt the power of the bloodline of the same origin was calling him. He murmured this feeling. Before he could figure out what was going on, a huge sword shadow slashed out from the Devil City. This sword shadow was so huge that it was more than 100,000 feet long. Its power was so horrifying that the void was torn apart. In the blink of an eye, the sword shadow was falling on the stone tablet. This was the attack of a top divine demon, or even a true divine demon. Yang Wu and the princess felt insignificant in front of this force. If they were touched by this sword, they would die for sure. All of a sudden, a figure emerged from the stone tablet and punched at the sword. Bang! This plain fist carried with it a majestic force. It smashed the sword into pieces. The nearby void was constantly trembling. Demons, you better behave yourselves! An incomparably arrogant voice rang out. Another fist was raised, and it was actually aimed at the Devil City. The Devil City trembled. A powerful devil formation was in operation. It formed a dark devil formation and stopped the fist. The devil formation was distorted, as if it was about to fall apart. Damn you, bastard! It has been tens of thousands of years and you are still haunting us. When will you be satisfied? A furious roar came from the Devil City. Behave yourselves. Don't disturb me when I am chatting with my people. Otherwise, I will destroy your Devil City again, the young man said in a domineering manner. One day, I will teach you a lesson. The devil snorted and said no more. This day, the devil formation was still in operation. They did not dare to deactivate it. The figure that came out from the stone tablet was so domineering. Yang Wu was excited to see this figure. He was sure that he had seen this figure and had interacted with him for a period of time. It was the young martial god that he had repeatedly challenged in the God of War Pagoda. It was because of this person that he had created the martial god fist. It was also to thank the other party for sparring with him. The young martial god was the most outstanding martial prodigy of the Yang family in recent years. Otherwise, he would not have dared to call himself the young martial god. Yang Wu would never have dreamed that he would meet this young martial god in this space. Even if it was just a will clone, he felt very excited and very close to this young martial god. Indeed, the young martial god turned around and looked at Yang Wu. He smiled sinisterly and said, "Kid, you are finally here." Yang Wu hurriedly bowed to this senior and said, "Yang Wu pays his respects to the ancestor." The young martial god gently dodged and did not accept Yang Wu's bow. He said faintly, "For now, I am indeed your ancestor. However, I do not dare to accept your bow." Yang Wu was confused. He did not know what the other party meant, but he did not argue. Instead, he asked, "Ancestor, did you know that I was coming here?" The young martial god had a mischievous look on his face as he said, "Who am I? There is nothing that I do not know and cannot do. Of course I know." "Shameless bastard," the crown princess muttered in a low voice. The young martial god looked at the princess and said, "Little girl, it is not good for you to speak ill of others." The princess smiled cutely and said, I said that you are very handsome. Much more handsome than this guy beside me. Haha, that is more like it. The young martial god smiled. He paused for a moment and looked seriously at the princess. You are not bad. You will not lose out if you marry into my young family. Can you not randomly match me? I am not interested in this guy. The princess was a little embarrassed. Haha, I did not say anything about you and him. Why are you in such a hurry to admit it? The young martial god laughed. The princess was so angry that she stomped her feet. She wanted to kick him in the face a few times. What an annoying guy. Ancestor, do you have a way to send me back to the transcendent realm? Yang Wu asked. Of course I have a way. However, it depends on whether or not you have the ability. The void formation I created is not that easy to activate. The young martial god said with a sinister smile. No matter what method it is, I will try it. Yang Wu said confidently. That's what you said. The young martial god blinked and then pointed at the demon city. You can try one city by yourself. Chapter 1397. With Yang Wu's strength, he could sweep away all the experts in the demon city. This was definitely not a problem. However, for him to challenge an entire city alone, this was a difficult request. Although his strength was stronger than any Heavenly King stage powerhouse, the demon envoy was not that easy to deal with. What right did he have to challenge an entire city alone? Is this a test? Yang Wu asked back. Just take it as one. The young martial god replied. All right, I'll challenge. Yang Wu replied straightforwardly. The way back was right in front of him. He did not want to waste any time. No matter what the other party asked, he would not refuse. If he could not go back, then he would just die. Yang Wu was ready to throw caution to the wind. Don't go. There are millions of demons there. If you fight an entire city alone, you will die of exhaustion. The Empress advised. It's better to die of exhaustion than to wait for death. Yang Wu replied with certainty. Who said I would wait for death? With this old lady here, how difficult would it be for you to return to the transcendent realm? The Empress patted her small chest and said. Yang Wu shook his head and walked towards the demon city step by step. The Empress was about to follow, but she was restrained by the young martial god's power, not allowing her to follow. You damn person! Since he is your descendant, why are you sending him to his death? The Empress glared at the young martial god and said unhappily. It is because he is my clansman that he needs to go through the baptism of demon slaying to show the glory of my battle clan. The young martial god said proudly. Your battle clan is a bunch of lunatics. The Empress scolded. Hee perhaps. The young martial god laughed and then said to Yang Wu, who was walking away, remember not to use god weapons. Otherwise there will be no challenge. Don't worry. Yang Wu did not turn his head and waved his hand. Yang Wu moved and quickly arrived in front of the demon city. Holding the 2 blades and 3 dragon spear, he shouted, Demon clan scum, come out and die. I, Yang Wu, will challenge you all. At this moment, Yang Wu was full of pride and fighting spirit. He thought of the scenes of the demon clan eating humans, and his killing intent continued to rise. Even if Little Hay had told him that all races were equal, he could not change this concept. Demons and humans had never coexisted since ancient times. Demon clan sons, go out and chop this brat into meat paste. I want to make that bastard's heart ache. An angry voice of the demon clan sounded. Thus, the demonic formation opened, and 100,000 demonic creatures rushed out. Beat him to death. A demon clan member had a demon clan. In an instant, an overwhelming amount of demon clan have the power have a demon clan had the demon clan had to kill had hey even if this was just a chaotic and disorderly power, when accumulated together, the destructive power was incomparably terrifying. Even a god-level creature wouldn't dare to take it head-on. In the past, this kind of battle might have affected me a little, but now, it is completely useless. Yang Wu murmured to himself. Then, he disappeared from where he was. He directly penetrated the void and charged towards the devil race. Void palm. Yang Wu's shuttling technique was unparalleled, and his void palm was even more impossible to guard against. Hundreds of Devil Clan's creatures were directly smashed into pieces. At the same time, the double-edged three-dragon spear danced wildly. Waves of water burst out, sometimes in the shape of a snake, sometimes in the shape of a tiger, sometimes in the shape of a flood dragon. They bombarded the Demon Clan, instantly killing a large number of them. Roar! Roar! The Demon Clan members screamed. Broken limbs flew everywhere, and their blood formed a river. When Yang Wu charged into the midst of these Demon Clan members, they could not join forces to attack. Otherwise, they would only hurt their comrades. Form the Demon Formation. Gather together and increase our collective fighting strength. Don't give him a chance to break us one by one. A Heavenly King Stage Demon Clan member exclaimed. Thus, different Demon Clan members began to form a formation. Blood-devouring Demon Formation. Corroding Flame Formation. Earth-splitting Demon Formation. Some of the Demon Clan members reacted quickly and gathered together, preparing to attack Yang Wu head-on. Yang Wu held the double-edged three-dragon spear in one hand and the Phoenix Profound Sword in the other. He attacked crazily, and with every move, a Demon Clan member fell. Not only that, his Netherworld Ice Blade wings also slashed out invisibly. With so many Demon Clan members gathered together, it was like harvesting wheat. They fell one after another. Hurry up and disperse. Wait for me to kill him. A blood-devouring demon that had gathered together roared and rushed over, erupting with the power of a deity stage. Majestic demon Qi enveloped Yang Wu, wanting to tear Yang Wu apart. The attacks of the blood-devouring demon were very strange. Once touched, one would be sucked dry. Therefore, one could not come into contact with his attack. Blue Enchantress Burn. Yang Wu did not hesitate to summon Blue Enchantress. Surging firepower rushed towards the blood-devouring demon. Xiao Man, come out! Yang Wu also called out the sacred mandala flower. He really used all his trump cards one by one. In this battle, he wanted to prove himself. He wanted to kill to his heart's content. Since he was moved here by the Purple Firmament Hall's god, he had been very sullen in his heart. His strength was suppressed and he could not return to his home. Now, he wanted to vent on these Demon Clan members. Blue Enchantress turned into a black tortoise and burned away the attacks of the blood-devouring demon. The raging flames burned the blood-devouring demon, causing it to scream endlessly. It did not dare to face it. Countless vines of the sacred mandala flower pierced out and bound many Demon Clan members. They were killed one by one, sucked dry or poisoned to death. Those demon formations covered over, enveloping Yang Wu. Many demon powers continuously bombarded Yang Wu. This kind of formation could not seal space. Yang Wu passed through space and circled behind the formation. It was another massacre. These 100,000 Demon Clan members looked very powerful. But when Yang Wu barged in, they were like a motley crew. They could not withstand a single blow. It was not that they were too weak. It was just that Yang Wu had too many methods. He was too strong. It was very difficult for their attacks to land on Yang Wu. Even if they landed on Yang Wu's body, they were blocked by the Emperor Jade battle armor. They could not hurt him at all. How could they continue fighting? Even the formation could not trap him. He could come and go as he pleased. How could they fight this battle? Above the Demon City, there were a few Demon Clan members who saw this scene. They were very angry. We have to seal the void and not let him escape. Only then can we exhaust him to death. A Demon Clan member said. That's right. If we can't seal him, none of us will be a match for him. Another Demon Clan member said. The true body of the Devil Emissary was standing there. He said, As you wish, I will confine the void. You can go down and slaughter him. If even you are defeated, then our devil race will lose all face. Yes, Sir Emissary. The demon clan members all replied. The demon clan emissary began to use his method. A demonic creature attacked the void and shouted, "Seal the void!" The demonic creature released its demonic energy. Waves of energy fell down and sealed the surrounding space. No one could travel through the void. Yang Wu could not sense the existence of the void node. He could not enter the void. Human, it's time for your puny life to end. A six-winged devil race creature swooped down and roared. A sky tyrant demon stepped in the air and shouted, "Seal him in front of the demon city. Make him suffer a fate worse than death." A demon with 3 heads shouted, "The human race is nothing but food for us. Just wait for this sovereign to eat you alive." These demon clan members had powerful auras. They were all existences that had entered the demon god level. They were completely qualified to go to the god realm. However, they did not leave. It was not that they did not want to leave. They were waiting for the right time to go to the god realm. Now, before they could go to the god realm, the demon city was provoked by a human youth. They could not bear it. Each of them had different methods. The demon clan member with 6 wings was the fastest. He swooped in front of Yang Wu and cut his wings like scissors at Yang Wu. Yang Wu had just tied the 3 demon clan members together. When he saw the demon clan member with 6 wings rushing over, he threw them at him. The demon clan member did not care. He still cut the demon clan members with scissors. He wanted to severely injure Yang Wu. So ruthless! Yang Wu shouted and quickly retreated. He raised the phoenix profound sword and slashed at the demon clan member. Clang! Sparks flew in all directions. Battle aura overflowed. The demon clan member spat out a burst of domineering demonic energy. The demonic energy was highly toxic and had a strong corrosive property. It could also confuse one's vision. Unfortunately, it was useless against Yang Wu. He faced the demon clan member and stabbed his double-blade triple dragon spear at the demon clan member's abdomen. This time, he did not succeed. The other party held the double-blade triple dragon spear and fixed his figure. The sky tyrant demon attacked, and a demonic fist was aimed at his back. There was also a demonic saber from the devil race that enveloped him, not giving him the slightest chance to catch his breath. The netherworld ice-winged blade slashed back. Blue Demonis turned into a sea of fire. Yang Wu immediately withdrew his 2 great innate skills. At the same time, he attacked the demon clan member. At the same time, he slashed out with the phoenix profound sword again and again. He fought fiercely with the demon clan member. At this time, the other demon clan members retreated like the tide. Only 70,000 demon clan members were left. In less than an hour, 30,000 of them were killed by Yang Wu. This was a great tragedy. The sacred mandala flower was also full. She was gradually breaking through to the god realm. After this, she would definitely be able to become a god. Yang Wu fought 5 god realm demon clan members and was not defeated. Even though he was at a disadvantage, he was still very brave. The young martial god laughed. As expected of the guy who defeated the intent I left in the God of War pagoda. Not bad, not bad. He is indeed not bad. He can be compared to the first-rate prodigies in the god realm, the princess replied. He is not just a first-rate prodigy. He is only at the 4th-level astral mark realm. There are not many prodigies in the god realm with his battle prowess, right? The young martial god asked. I think so. However, when he reaches the god realm, he can only be compared to first-rate prodigies. Don't forget that the environment there is different from other realms, the princess replied. That is not something I need to worry about. If he can't even pass this stage, then he can forget about going to the god realm in the future. That won't do. He must go to the god realm. Even the princess is tempted? Chapter 1398. One man against an entire city. Not many people had done such a feat before. Especially in a special void realm like the divine firmament battlefield, No living being had the guts to do so. After all, every ancient city had different means of protection, and every living being would be suppressed by the power of heaven and earth, unable to display their original strength. Who would have the courage to challenge an entire city of living beings? Yang Wu really dared to do so after listening to the young martial god's words. He even killed so many demons. If news of this spread, all the living beings in the divine firmament battlefield would admire him. At that moment the void was sealed. Yang Wu could not use the void to escape, nor could he use his divine weapon to deal with these demons. He began to fall into a bitter battle. The double-blade triple dragon spear and the mysterious phoenix sword that had been recast by Little Hay were shattered. These two weapons could be ranked in the top 100 of the divine weapon list, but they could not be compared to divine weapons. Yang Wu was heartbroken, especially the double-blade triple dragon spear. It was a weapon that had followed him for many years, and he had a special relationship with it. He was furious that it had been cut by the six-winged demon's demonic scissors. Yang Wu was completely enraged. Do you really think that you can do anything to me just because your cultivation level is higher than mine? Today I will kill all of you! Yang Wu roared, and his body began to grow. The Emperor Jade battle armor also became more powerful. It was like a creature of the Jade Emperor's race, and it once again clashed with the 5 god-level demons. Barbaric Tyrant Fist, Chaotic Mystic Fist, Zhenwu Fist. Yang Wu unleashed all the fist skills he had created, and punched out one punch after another, causing the entire world to tremble from his punches. The attacks of the demons were all shattered by him, and the Zhenwu Fist became even more domineering and powerful. The god-level demons wielded god-level demon weapons, and their combat strength was not comparable to ordinary demons. Many attacks were launched, and Yang Wu's Emperor Jade armor was shattered. Even if he had a perfect sacred body, it was not easy to fight 5 demons alone. You think you can win by going all out? Don't even think about it. The Sky Tyrant Demon roared, and his tyrannical fists met Yang Wu's attacks, and clashed with Yang Wu. The Sky Tyrant Demon and Yang Wu's fighting power were equal. Neither could do anything to the other, but the other demon creatures were constantly attacking, not giving Yang Wu the slightest chance to breathe. As long as Yang Wu dared to show the slightest hint of exhaustion, he could be killed. Under such circumstances, Yang Wu could not move and use the divine weapon. What else could he do to save himself? Put in more effort and send him on his way. The 6-winged devil's giant scissors slashed out again and again, wanting to cut Yang Wu into pieces. He can't hold on for much longer. Capture him and hang him on the city wall. Another demon shouted. Yang Wu's defense was broken, and many attacks landed on him. His Imperial Jade battle armor cracked, and his body shrank rapidly. Blood gushed out of his mouth, and his saintly body was riddled with wounds so deep that his bones could be seen. In the distance, the Empress said anxiously, "You really have the heart to watch him get killed? If he gets killed like this, then I have nothing to say," the young martial god replied. "How can you be so cold and heartless? If you don't save him, then I will," the Empress replied. "Don't worry. If he dies like this, then he won't be him," the young martial god replied calmly. "Haha, you want to kill me? You're still a little weak. I'll let you see my true fighting power." Yang Wu laughed wildly. Blood spurted out from his mouth, and a black and white lotus appeared. The way of life and death. In the crack in the void, Yang Wu comprehended the Tao of life and death again. His understanding of this martial Tao was getting deeper and deeper. Life and death were in the hands of a single thought. No creature could escape from life and death. After the black and white lotuses appeared, an aura of death spread out in the surroundings. Dense death chi was released, and everyone felt despair. God's tomb chi was also mixed in, and it started to devour the life force of the demon race. The 5 devil creatures were all affected by the power of this martial way. It was as if a gate to hell had appeared in front of them, and was about to pull them in. They couldn't resist at all, which made them feel a trace of fear. This is just an illusion. Break for me. A trifling Tao of death dares to affect me? I'll break it with my demonic Tao. We demons won't enter the cycle of hell. Shatter all of you. None of these god-level demons were easy to deal with. They could control their hearts and wouldn't be easily affected. They used their absolute strength to break through Yang Wu's Tao of death. The power of devouring vitality couldn't easily take away their vitality. After becoming a demon god, both the spirit and the physical body were very strong. Just as they were struggling, the aura on their bodies became particularly different. It was a kind of immortal chi which made them feel like they were floating in the air. It strengthened their vitality and raised their cultivation level. At this moment, they were lost. This was the power of vitality and also the power of immortal chi. It was a kind of temptation that no creature could resist. Yang Wu seized this opportunity to counterattack. Black Tortoise Doppelganger Kill. Yang Wu split into 5 and simultaneously launched his most powerful attack at the 5 Devil Clan creatures. Magnetic Sword Finger. Martial God Fist. Sky Dominating Palm. Tsunami Palm. Lightning Finger. The power of Yang Wu's true body and doppelganger erupted at the same time. They used all their strength to kill the 5 demons in one fell swoop. The magnetic sword finger was the strongest. It cut the 6-winged demon who couldn't dodge in time into 2 halves. Its demon core was also shattered, and it would be difficult for it to resurrect. The martial god fist contained the power of Zhenwu boxing. It crazily fell on the sky-dominating demon, breaking its demon armor. Unfortunately, it couldn't kill him in one fell swoop. His defensive power was too strong. But the sky-dominating demon didn't have it easy either. Just as he was about to counterattack, the Nether Ice Wing Blade suddenly slashed at the back of his head. Although it didn't cut off his head, a wave of Nether Ice power descended and heavily injured him. Both the sky-dominating palm and tsunami palm were divine skills. They contained unparalleled power and heavily injured the other 2 demons. The lightning finger directly shot the eye of a demon, causing him to scream like a pig being slaughtered. After Yang Wu's move succeeded, he finally turned the tables. He had killed one of the Devil Clan's creatures and severely injured the other 4. His doppelganger's power was also exhausted. Only his true body was left. His soul eye opened, and a beam of soul light fell on the sky-dominating demon who was still shaking off the Nether-Een energy. The soul power attack affected his demon soul, causing him to be unable to recover for a while. The magnetic sword finger appeared again and chopped off his demon head. The other 3 demons wouldn't give Yang Wu the chance to kill them one by one. They used their heavily injured bodies to attack Yang Wu again with their demon weapons. Unfortunately, it was too late. Yang Wu's aura had already risen. Who could stop him? The power of the immortal root exploded. In the battle just now, Yang Wu didn't use the power of the immortal root. Ever since the immortal root awakened and his body underwent a round of upgrades, his fighting power was very strong. He didn't use it all this time. Even when facing the Void Messenger, he didn't use this move. At this moment, he didn't hold back anymore. After the power of the immortal root exploded, his body's exhaustion recovered in an instant. His fighting power rose sharply, and a shocking vision appeared behind him. There was a black tortoise in a celestial lake, a true dragon flying, a phoenix crying, and fairies walking in the air. It was really a beautiful land of immortals. Streaks of immortal chi erupted from his body, and an endless amount of power gathered on his fist. With an unstoppable force, he clashed with the 3 Devil Clan beings. Bang! 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 Fist after fist struck out. One after another, dull sounds rang out. The demon weapons were sent flying, and their bodies were smashed. There was no way they could withstand a single blow. The demons screamed and retreated. Their confidence was completely destroyed by Yang Wu. The Nether Ice Winged Blade took the opportunity to attack. Their heads were all chopped off. Yang Wu grabbed their heads and roared, "Demons die!" The power in his palm exploded, and the heads of the demons exploded. Only a few demon cores were left floating in the air. He decisively put them away. This scene shocked all the devil race beings. The Empress was also shocked, speechless. Hee, that's more like it, that's more like it. The young martial god laughed. That's the immortal root's vision? The Empress swallowed her saliva. In the god realm, there weren't many monsters with immortal root. Each of them was a successor carefully guarded by the various major powers. They wouldn't be easily allowed to take risk. Who would have thought that a youth with an immortal root would suddenly appear in the mortal world? It was hard for her not to be shocked. The leaders were all killed by him. He's too strong. I begged the Lord Envoy to kill him. Only the Lord Envoy can do it. We can't do anything to him. But won't the guy in the stone tablet kill the Lord Envoy? The demons were scared of being killed. Looking at Yang Wu, who was like a demon god, they felt a strong sense of fear. In their hearts, they felt that Yang Wu was undefeatable. No matter how many demons went to kill him, they would only return empty-handed. The demon envoy on the city wall clenched the demonic blade in his hands and shouted, "You killed my demon brothers. You must accept the punishment of my demon race." The demon envoy still made his move. His speed was astonishingly fast. In the blink of an eye, he landed on top of Yang Wu's head and slashed down at Yang Wu. Two demonic blades broke open the space, and radiated in all directions with the power to destroy everything. Facing this attack, Yang Wu also didn't dare to meet it head-on. Soul eyes exterminate soul. A soul light was shot out. He had to force the other party to retreat first. Unfortunately, the soul light seemed to be ineffective against the other party this time. The two blade lights continued to fall. Am I done for this time? Yang Wu didn't have the confidence to resist anymore. Even if he killed a few demon gods, this demon god in front of him was probably a high-level demon god. He was even stronger than the Void Envoy. Even if he had the power of an immortal root, it wasn't enough to resist the other party's attack. "You're allowed to use the divine weapon." The young martial god's voice rang out. "You should have said so earlier. Come out with the divine weapon electric fork." Chapter 1399. The Big Dipper sword and the divine weapon electric fork were both powerful trump cards that Yang Wu relied on in battle. In the past, he couldn't use the divine weapon. Now that his battle power was comparable to a god-tier expert, he gradually gained the recognition of the divine weapon and could use its power. As soon as the divine weapon electric fork appeared, the power of full clouds, thunder and lightning appeared. Rumble, rumble. The magnetic field of the divine weapon exploded crazily, forming a sea of lightning that forcefully blocked the power of the demon emissary's saber. The combat power of the demon emissary was not to be underestimated. The power of the two sabers continued to slash downwards, wanting to break the magnetic field of the divine weapon and behead Yang Wu. The divine weapon released waves of majestic divine thunder power that continued to strengthen the magnetic field of the divine weapon, blocking the attack of the demon emissary. Black demonic lightning orb, attack for me. Yang Wu also forced the black demonic lightning orb out of the divine court and bombarded it towards the demon emissary. Under the interference of the boundless divine thunder power, the void finally showed signs of loosening. The thing that sealed the space earlier could no longer interfere with the void barrier. In the face of absolute power, these powers are nothing but paper. The demon emissary responded and continued to slash with his sabers, breaking the magnetic field of the divine weapon. He also slashed at the black demonic lightning orb, almost shattering it. Erupt with full power, divine weapon strangle. Yang Wu once again activated the power of the immortal foundation. After the divine weapon received the support of the immortal chi, the divine weapon had a new shape. It became a lot bigger, and the forked head and tail also became bigger. The divine thunder power it released was even more terrifying, comparable to the power of the third stage divine thunder tribulation. The divine weapon strangle bombarded the demon emissary. Bolts of lightning continuously struck him like the mother of lightning, forcing him to continuously block. "This is a divine weapon," the demon emissary exclaimed. A divine weapon was also a true god weapon. However, in the demon race, they were divided into the little demon god and great demon god. The little demon god was equivalent to the human race's Jade Moon realm, while the great demon god was equivalent to the human race's Nine Sun realm, also known as the true god realm. Different races had different names for each other. At this moment, Yang Wu suddenly shuttled through the void, holding the Big Dipper sword as he furiously slashed at the demon emissary. Devour the starry sky. Yang Wu did not have much strength left. Every time he attacked, he would use all of his strength. Furthermore, every time he used the divine weapon, he would consume a huge amount of energy. Even though Yang Wu had a strong foundation, he still felt that he could not bear it. The demon emissary didn't expect Yang Wu to abandon the divine weapon and use the void traversing technique, which caught him off guard. He dodged quickly, but half of his demonic body was still struck. The demonic armor on his body cracked, and his body almost split apart. The devil emissary turned around and slashed out with his blade. A moon-like blade light streaked across Yang Wu's position. The demon emissary thought that he had killed Yang Wu, but to his surprise, what he slashed was only a shadow of Yang Wu. When Yang Wu reappeared, he was in the other direction of the demon emissary, and the Big Dipper sword fell down once again. Chop! 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 As if his life depended on it, Yang Wu kept changing his position and attacking. Regardless of whether he hit the demon emissary or not, he attacked with all his strength. Moreover, after one attack, he immediately changed his position, making it impossible for the demon emissary to guard against. The demon emissary's aura was very strong. The surging demonic aura blocked the interference of the divine weapon electric fork, blocked the bombardment of the divine lightning, and defended against Yang Wu's attack. It really made him extremely distressed. After being slashed more than 10 times by Yang Wu, although he dodged the fatal attack, he was also heavily injured. Roar. If you have the ability, come to the demon city and fight. The demon emissary was incomparably angry. After roaring, he actually did not dare to fight anymore and flew back to the demon city. Where do you think you're going, beast? Yang Wu was still chasing after him. Another 3 swords broke through the void and slashed at the demon emissary. The demon emissary was so scared that he rushed back to the demon city with all his strength and exclaimed, "Activate the array, quickly activate the array." The demon array of the demon city was activated, protecting the demon city layer by layer. Even a fly could not fly in. He did not know that Yang Wu's 3 swords were just a feint and did not have any lethality. Yang Wu kept the divine weapon electric fork and rushed back to the young martial god with the Big Dipper sword. As soon as he returned, his body fell directly toward the ground. "Little Wu Zi!" The Empress cried out in alarm and caught Yang Wu first. A little girl holding a young man. This situation was somewhat uncoordinated. "I'm exhausted." Yang Wu smiled bitterly. "I know. You just need to rest for a while. If that guy forces you again, I'll make him suffer," the Empress gently said to Yang Wu. Then, she glared at the young martial god. Her eyes were filled with threat. "Haha, well done." Even the demon emissary was scared away. "You have a bit of the demeanor of this young master." The young martial god laughed. "Then, does it count as a pass?" Yang Wu asked. "Pass what?" The young martial god was stunned for a moment. After a pause, he said, "I just wanted to see your courage." "Not bad, your courage is commendable. It's just that your brain is a bit too straightforward." "What do you mean?" "What I mean is that the test is just about to start. Don't think that you can go back so quickly." Activating the void array requires 1,000,000 god stones to send you back. Without the power of these god stones, the void array cannot be activated. You played me? Yes, I'm playing with you. Can you bite me? Yang Wu looked at the young martial god. He had nowhere to vent his anger. He could only close his eyes to recover his injuries and consumed energy. After the Supreme Nine profound arts merged with the Emperor Jade Xian's essence, although it did not increase his battle strength, its level had increased greatly. The speed at which it absorbed energy from the surroundings had increased by many times. The void energy madly entered his body and was purified by his dantian, turning into pure energy to replenish his consumption. However, he found that the power of the immortal root had become extremely weak. It could not be replenished by the external energy. He felt that it was very weak and could not be used anymore. He had to wait for it to recover before he could use its power again. Moreover, its weakness greatly affected his recovery. He had to refine the second-grade immortal liquid to heal himself. I have already refined a drop of immortal liquid. Refining another drop will not increase my cultivation level too much, but it will definitely be useful for healing. Also, the immortal root needs immortal energy to nourish it. Perhaps it can be replenished. Yang Wu thought about this and took out a drop of immortal liquid to refine. There was a lot of immortal liquid on the immortal immortality peach tree. If he used it sparingly, he could use it many times. When he refined the drop of immortal liquid, there was indeed a stream of pure immortal energy flowing through his body. Everything he had just consumed was replenished, and his immortal root was slowly growing bigger. It was much better than before when it was about to disappear. Yang Wu saw that the immortal liquid had an effect on the immortal root. He channeled most of the immortal liquid's power into the immortal root so that it could absorb more energy and recover to its original state. When the immortal liquid's power was used up, the immortal root's power had not completely recovered. It had only recovered 2/3 of its power. The other half would only be completely recovered after a period of accumulation. Yang Wu was already very satisfied. If something happened to the immortal root, it would be equivalent to cutting off his path to becoming an immortal. After Yang Wu completely recovered, he found that the Empress was still holding him. He blushed and said, "Little Jing Jing, put me down. I am fine. Your recovery speed is really fast." The Empress praised from the bottom of her heart. Just now, he felt like he was about to collapse. Now, he had completely recovered. Anyone could guess that he had a big secret. If I didn't have a few tricks up my sleeve, I wouldn't have dared to be so impulsive. Yang Wu smiled. Then, he looked at the young martial god and said, "What other test do you have? Bring it on. As long as you let me return to the transcendent realm. Come with me." The young martial god looked at Yang Wu. Then, he stepped into the stone tablet. Yang Wu did not hesitate and prepared to follow. Unexpectedly, the Empress pulled him back and said, "Little Wu, be smart. Don't count the money for people who sold you off." "Do I look like such an idiot?" Yang Wu pointed at his face and asked. "Yes, very much so." The Empress nodded with certainty. Yang Wu was greatly affected. However, he still walked towards the stone tablet. A door of light appeared on the stone tablet. After stepping through the door, it was like entering the stone tablet's space. Only the young martial god and Yang Wu were left here. The Empress could not follow. "Ancestor, don't trick me. I really do want to go back." Yang Wu revealed a pleading expression and said, "How can there be an ancestor who would trick his own descendant?" "First, listen to me," the young martial god replied. "Then," he said seriously, "you being able to come here much earlier than I expected. There are good and bad things. The good thing is that you still have time to train. The bad thing is that you are still too weak. You haven't even reached the Jade Moon Realm. Even if you have the battle strength of a Jade Moon Realm, you are still far from it." "Ancestor, what are you trying to say?" "I want to say that you stay here and train for 100 years. Once you succeed in reaching the Jade Moon Realm, you can enter the God Realm and go to the War Race. At that time, you will understand what your mission is. Train here for 100 years? Impossible. I still want to go back to the human world. I don't want to go to the God Realm right now. I knew you would say that. If you want to go back to the human world, that's fine. As long as you complete my mission, I will send you back to the human world. What mission? There are many dangerous places here. You have to go to each of them. It doesn't matter if you gain anything or not. As long as you can come back alive and find 1,000,000 high-grade God stones, I will send you back. Why do you want me to do that? I didn't set the rules. You set them. Just do as you see fit. If I find 1,000,000 high-grade God stones early, can I leave early? You have no room to bargain. Chapter 1400. There were countless forbidden areas in the Divine Firmament battlefield. It would be extremely difficult to go through them all. Yang Wu also realized that it was impossible for him to leave the Divine Firmament battlefield for the time being. Yang Wen was already trapped in an unknown place. Now that he was far away from the transcendent world, it would be difficult for him to return. He did not know how worried his parents would be. He did not feel good about it. Compared to pursuing his own cultivation level, he wanted to stay in the transcendent world to cultivate. He would be very satisfied if he could get together with his family from time to time. Yang Wu asked the young martial god some questions about this place, but he did not say anything. He said that he would slowly learn about the situation after he reached the Divine Firmament. Also, he reminded Yang Wu to make the princess his woman. She was definitely a good match. Yang Wu cursed the young martial god for being a beast. He would not even let off a little girl. The young martial god looked at Yang Wu with disdain. Sometimes, don't be fooled by appearances. Even a little girl will grow up to be an absolute beauty. She is worth nurturing. Don't let the goodies go to outsiders. Yang Wu was speechless. He stopped talking with the young martial god and prepared to begin his cultivation journey. If you want to come back without going through all the danger zones, it is not impossible. As long as you can defeat me, you can also leave here, said the young martial god. Then forget it. Yang Wu did not dare have such extravagant hopes. The young martial god dared to attack the demon city. His battle power was probably stronger than a true god. Even if he came back from all the danger zones, he might not be a match for him. Spineless, said the young martial god disdainfully. Yang Wu left the stone tablet. The stone tablet once again sank into the ground. The void formation was also hidden. The surroundings once again showed the original appearance of the ruins. It was as if there had never been any strange changes. He really knows how to hide, the crown princess murmured as she watched this scene. Yes, said Yang Wu softly. Then he said to her, I'm afraid I won't be able to leave for a while. Then what should we do? Do you want to follow me back to the Void Palace and live a carefree life? Yang Wu shook his head and said, I want to go to the various dangerous places and gather 1,000,000 high-grade divine stone. This is the condition he gave me. It's just 1,000,000 high-grade divine stones. You don't have it, but I do. The princess said heroically. That won't do. He still wants me to walk around the various dangerous lands. Otherwise, even if he has the divine stone, he won't send me back. Yang Wu sighed heavily. What is he trying to do? I don't know either. All right, since you're so pitiful, I'll accompany you. Little Jingjing, I know that you have an extraordinary background and should have a way to escape. There's no need for you to follow me, lest I implicate you. What nonsense are you talking about? I treat you as a friend. Don't you treat me as a friend? Of course we are friends. Then let's go through thick and thin together. Little Feifei, come over and we'll be on our way. Just like that, Yang Wu and the princess continued to stay together and began to move towards the various dangerous lands. The first dangerous land was naturally the storm space. This place was the closest to them, so of course they had to take a look first. The most dangerous place in the storm space was the eye of the storm. If one entered, they would either be killed or sent to an unknown space. They had to avoid the eye of the storm as well as the sudden appearance of the storm. Otherwise, even a god-level existence would die. Yang Wu wasn't in a hurry to rush into the storm space. He walked slowly, planning to cultivate bitterly and think about how he should go in the future. He wanted to reach the requirements of the young martial god as soon as possible and smoothly leave this place. There was no point in being anxious right now. The storm space was very similar to the lightning space. It wasn't filled with storms or lightning. It was just that the wind here was very strong. A storm could appear at any time. There were also some safe areas. As long as one was careful, they wouldn't be hurt by the storm. In this place, there were naturally creatures who cultivated the power of the wind, as well as some plants with the power of the wind. As soon as Yang Wu and the princess approached this space, they saw winged insects flying all over the sky. Moreover, they were surging towards the two of them. Stinky insects, get lost. The princess was obviously very afraid of insects. She shrank behind Yang Wu and shouted. Without Yang Wu needing to make a move, the cat demon stuck out her tongue and swept the winged insects over, swallowing them all into her stomach. The princess clapped her hands and shouted, "Little Fei Fei, not bad. From now on, you will follow me and eat the insects for me." Meow. The cat obediently replied. Compared to following Yang Wu, she wanted to follow the princess more. She could see that the princess's identity was extraordinary. Moreover, they were both females, so it was safer. She was afraid that Yang Wu would one day explode and force himself on her. What would she do? If Yang Wu knew what she was thinking, he probably wouldn't be able to stop himself from slapping her to death. He would be interested in a cat? What a big joke. Needless to say, the cat demon was very sexy and beautiful after transforming. There were many examples of humans and demons together. Yang Wu's gaze locked onto the wind-leaf grass in front of him. Its level wasn't very high, but it had a lot of them. With a smile on his face, he rushed over and collected all of them. Maybe it's not a bad choice to walk around. After having a harvest, Yang Wu was in a good mood. Why would you pick up this kind of trash herb? Don't you think it's dirty? The princess didn't explain. What dirty? It can be used to refine pills. Yang Wu rolled his eyes. Don't tell me you're also an alchemist. The princess spread out her hands. What else could it be? Yang Wu said proudly. Hee, then you're just a mediocre alchemist. The princess laughed happily. You can say that. Yang Wu was too lazy to explain. He continued to walk around and began to focus on collecting herbs and various strange items. As for cultivation, let's put it aside for now. Now, he had already reached the peak of the 4th level of the Star Rune realm. As long as he worked hard, he could enter the 5th level. He wasn't in a hurry to do so. Continuing to polish himself would only bring him benefit. He hadn't been here for long, but his strength had increased very quickly. Of course, it was because of his previous foundation, but also because he was forced to improve in desperate situations. Along the way, he encountered attacks from creatures that cultivated the power of wind. There were more of them than the ones he encountered in the lightning space. All of a sudden, a dense group of creatures appeared. They were very fast and looked very sinister. It was extremely frightening. The princess hated things like bugs the most. She was almost scared to tears. Fortunately, Mao Fei had protected her many times, so she didn't lose her sense of propriety. Thus, the princess casually said, "Give me little Fei Fei. If you like it, I'll give it to you." Yang Wu replied. He really erased the contract with Mao Fei and let the princess and Mao Fei establish a new contract. Little Fei Fei is so obedient. She shouldn't betray me. There's no need to establish another contract. The princess gently stroked Mao Fei's head and said, "Meow, I'll be loyal to you." Mao Fei quickly declared. Then it's settled. The princess smiled and replied. Then she said, If you dare to betray me, I'll peel off your skin and dry it as my clothes. I'll pull out your tendons and make them my skirt. And I'll also cut off your claws one by one and sprinkle some spicy salt on them. It'll definitely be very delicious. Suddenly, Mao Fei felt like she was going to faint from fright. She wanted to scream out loud. Could she still make a contract with Yang Wu? Yang Wu only felt that the princess had a girl's temperament and didn't care about her. Just like that, they walked aimlessly and continuously harvested many wind-type items. There were even more wind-type herbs, such as little saint grass and saint flowers. Their value was extraordinary, and they were all difficult to find in the outside world. In addition, they also found some wind-type strange stones, each of which had their own uses. When they slowly went deeper, they saw storms all over the place. They were like wind dragons roaring non-stop. That destructive power that made people's expressions change made them stop in their track. Just as Yang Wu and the Crown Princess were about to take a detour, they discovered that the windstorms had picked up quite a few amazing items. For example, there was the wind insect stone, which was a stone that could give birth to the eggs of wind insects. It was a favorite of beast tamers. There was also the wind flower, which was a type of divine medicine that loved to dance in the wind. There were also a number of other treasures, all of which were quite valuable. If I cultivated the power of wind, I would definitely be able to gain a lot by staying in this place. Yang Wu sighed with emotion. Even if you don't cultivate the power of wind, you still have to gain a lot. The princess shouted loudly, waving her delicate fist and punching at one of the storms. The astonishing fist power slammed heavily on the storm, directly dispersing the storm's power. The wind-type items that were swept up in the storm all fell down, and she conveniently put them away. However, just as she put away the items, the nearby storm's power swept in her direction as if it was consciously attacking her. "Do you think I'm afraid of your little wind power?" The princess shouted confidently and continued to attack. Her delicate fist punched out one after another, wanting to disperse all the storms. Bang! Bang! At first, the storm was indeed dispersed by her, but more storms appeared, and their power was getting stronger and stronger. The princess sensed that something was wrong and quickly withdrew, but it was too late. Dozens of storm powers intertwined together, forming a terrifying eye of the storm that wanted to swallow her. "Little Jing Jing, don't panic. I'm coming to save you." Yang Wu shouted, and the nether ice wing blade grew out. It turned into a stream of light and rushed toward the gap of the storm, ready to save the princess. But who knew that these storms seemed to be controlled by a living creature, dealing with Yang Wu as well, blowing him left and right. Moreover, the wind blades kept falling on him, making him feel danger. Yang Wu stabilized his body and accelerated, coming to the princess's side and pulling her quickly to escape. Unfortunately, the eye of the storm had already formed, and a huge whirlpool enveloped them. They had nowhere to hide, and were directly swallowed into the eye of the storm. Meow. Chapter 1401. The scariest thing in the storm space was the eye of the storm. Even a god-level creature would find it hard to resist the power of the eye of the storm. Once someone fell into it, they would be turned into a pool of blood and die. Yang Wu and the princess fell into the eye of the storm at the same time. Yang Wu didn't hesitate to hug the princess. He didn't want to take advantage of her. Instead, he wanted to use his jade-like body to protect her and prevent her from getting hurt. He had been with the princess for a long time. Although she looked like a child, she was old and experienced. She wasn't really a child. Perhaps she was someone who had lived for a long time. However, Yang Wu didn't care who she was or where she came from. He treated her as a good friend. Good friends should go through thick and thin together. This was also why he didn't hesitate to come and save the princess. Not only did Yang Wu's body turn into jade, forming an Emperor Jade battle armor, but he also wore a set of divine armor that protected him in layers. "Let go of me!" the princess shouted as she struggled. "Don't be stubborn. Prepare your strongest defense." I can't control myself. Yang Wu roared and used all his power to stabilize himself. He wanted to rush out, but the tearing force of the wind was too strong. He couldn't control it at all. When he wanted to use the godly weapon to break open a path, the world spun. He felt pain and his vision went black. He lost all consciousness. When Yang Wu woke up, the first thing he saw was the princess' little face. She cried anxiously, "You're awake. You're finally awake." Yang Wu felt a splitting headache. He asked with difficulty, Where is this? I don't know where this place is. It's very strange, the princess replied. Then, she said, don't tell me first. Recover first. Yang Wu also realized that his injuries weren't light. With the strength of his body, even a normal god-level attack couldn't hurt him. However, the power of the Eye of the Storm was far beyond his imagination. It almost tore him apart. Come, drink this godly elixir. The crown princess raised Yang Wu's head and fed him a mouthful of godly elixir. The value of this divine liquid was extraordinary, and every drop was enough to save a life. However, the empress treated it as plain water and fed it to Yang Wu. Moreover, when Yang Wu was unconscious, she had already fed him once. Yang Wu could feel a thick life force working within his body. The immortal immortality peach tree and the immortal root were also absorbing the power of the divine liquid. It was clear that this divine liquid was not ordinary. They didn't care about ordinary spirit liquids either. This was a divine liquid that was not inferior to the Thunder God elixir. Yang Wu used the Supreme Nine Mysteries mantra. Under the effects of the divine liquid, all of the injuries on his body were healed, and he gradually recovered. Yang Wu sat up and took a deep breath. Then, he looked around and realized that he wasn't in the storm space. Instead, it was like he was in another unknown space. There was still wind here, but the wind was much weaker. There were mountains and rivers, and the only strange thing was that the life force of the plants here wasn't very strong. They were the lowest level plants. Perhaps this had a lot to do with the environment here. Yang Wu asked, "How many days have I been unconscious?" "A full 7 days. Little Fei Fei was worried to death." The Empress stroked Mao Fei and said seriously. When they were sucked into the Eye of the Storm, Mao Fei didn't hesitate to chase after them. She didn't suffer too much damage, and neither did the Empress. Only Yang Wu suffered the wrath of extermination. "I've been unconscious for so long." As expected of a dangerous space. Yang Wu sighed. Then, he asked, "Do you know where this is?" "We should have fallen into the interlayer space of the storm space." The Empress guessed. "The layers of space are everywhere. There are all kinds of strange things." "That's right, but the environment here is extremely harsh. The living creatures are all very low level. It's not a very suitable space for survival. We have to get out as soon as possible. Since we're here, let's go." When Yang Wu came here, he had a strange feeling. It was as if he was revisiting an old place. He didn't know when he had been here, so he didn't want to leave immediately. "Whatever you say. Then let's go." The Empress agreed. Thus, they began to walk in this space. They headed towards the place where the aura of living creatures was dense. Soon, they came to a low valley. There was a river flowing from here. There were elf-like creatures of other races living here. These creatures looked very much like humans. Their heads, bodies, and limbs were very similar. The only difference was that they had 2 antennae on their forehead. Their bodies were all gray. Regardless of whether they were big or small, they could float and fly. The Empress exclaimed softly, Is this the Wind Spirit race? Why are they living in this place?" "Wind Spirit race?" Yang Wu was puzzled. They were once one of the 10 great races of the God realm. Unfortunately, there was a shocking battle in the distant era. They were almost wiped out. "I didn't expect that there were still living Wind Spirit race here." The Empress sighed. Such a powerful race was wiped out? There's the immortal realm above the God realm. Who can stop the immortals from doing what they want? It's rumored that the wind spirit race is related to a certain immortal in the immortal realm. That's why the enemy of that immortal wiped them out. Don't immortals ignore worldly matters? Yes, they only care about immortal fate. Whoever blocks their immortal fate is their mortal enemy. Awoo! All of a sudden, the howls of wolves could be heard. One wind wolf after another appeared in the distance. They formed an encirclement and attacked the wind spirit tribe living beings. The creatures of the wind spirit tribe were all panicking. A loud and clear voice rang out, "The wolf tribe is attacking again. Children, pick up your weapons and slaughter them for food." One wind spirit race creature after another flew out of the houses. Armed with bows and arrows and low-level weapons, they fought the wolves. There weren't many wind spirit race creatures. There were less than 1,500 in the entire village. Clearly, they were on the verge of extinction. The strongest creatures here were only in the king realm. There weren't even any in the heavenly realm. From this, one could see that the environment here was even worse than the mortal world Yang Wu had once lived in. The battle between the Wind Spirit clan and the Wind Wolf clan was very intense. The Wind Spirit race could borrow the power of the wind to kill the wolves. However, the wolves weren't afraid of death. They could also borrow the power of the wind to increase their speed and attack the Wind Spirit race creatures. In a certain direction, a pair of Wind Spirit race siblings were fighting side by side. "Sister, get behind me. Don't get too close. Those beasts will hurt you." "Brother, I can fight too. Mom and Dad are already dead. I can't lose you. Even if I die, I want to be with you. Don't worry, no one will die with me here. I'll definitely become stronger and be able to protect you." Brother is the best. I won't drag you down." The brother and sister were fighting with their lives on the line. The arrows in the brother's hands didn't miss. He shot 7 or 8 wind wolves in succession. His hands were very strong, and his grasp of the power of the wind was very accurate. The sister wasn't weak either. Unfortunately, she was still young and wasn't as strong. She didn't realize that there was a wind wolf that hadn't been shot. That cunning wind wolf suddenly jumped up and pounced toward her. The sister was scratched by the wind wolf's claws, which gave the brother a fright. He turned around and stabbed the wind wolf with the short sword in his hand. "Anyone who hurts my sister will die." The brother's eyes were filled with hostility. The short sword ruthlessly stabbed toward the wind wolf's head. Before the wind wolf could bite the sister, it was killed by the brother. "Brother, watch your back." After being saved, the sister wasn't happy. Instead, she screamed. 3 wind wolves pounced over like the wind. Their target was the brother. The brother reacted quickly. He picked up his sister and rushed to the side. However, his back was still scratched by one of the wind wolves. A few deep wounds could be seen on his back. The brother sucked in a breath of cold air. He put his sister down and protected her behind him. He yelled, "Come, you beasts. One day, I'll definitely slaughter all of you." The wind power gathered on his body grew stronger and stronger. His cultivation level rose steadily. He broke through his original level in the middle of battle, and his battle intent grew even stronger. Those who made breakthroughs in battle were either forced to their limits or forced to improve themselves. They were battle-type prodigies. This wind spirit youth definitely belonged to the latter. He was a battle-type prodigy. He had been suppressing his cultivation level all this time. He was waiting for this battle to completely break through his limits and increase his battle prowess to continue killing enemies. The wind spirit youth fought with the 3 wind wolves. Relying on his nimble movements, he continuously dodged the wind wolves' attack. The short sword in his hand repeatedly opened up wounds on their bodies and killed them. The youth from the Wind Spirit clan didn't stop. He rushed towards his companions and helped them kill the wind wolves. The more the youth killed, the more powerful his chi became. The wind power around him grew stronger and stronger. It was as if he had merged with the wind, appearing extremely agile. "Big brother, save me!" His sister's screams rang out again. An even larger wind wolf sent her flying. It even opened its mouth and pounced toward her throat. "Beasts, stay away from my sister," the youth not far away roared. He began to run wildly, increasing his speed to the extreme. He had to save his sister before the wolf closed its mouth. Unfortunately, no matter how fast he increased his speed, there was still a bit of distance between him and his sister. And this bit of distance was the line of his sister's death. "It's over," the youth despaired. He couldn't make it. The wind wolf's sharp teeth were about to pierce his sister's throat. At this moment, a figure descended from the sky. A foot stomped down on the wind wolf's head, turning it into a pool of blood. This scene was deeply imprinted in the wind spirit youth's eyes. Chapter 1402. There were quite a few wind wolves. In the eyes of the wind spirit clan, they were mortal enemies, but in the eyes of those high and mighty experts, they were just ordinary creatures that could be casually crushed. The moment Yang Wu made his move, these wind wolves were destined to be defeated. High and mighty saints like them would be worshipped as gods in the eyes of the wind spirit clan. When the Wind Spirit clan saw the sudden appearance of the young man and the little girl, they were immediately stunned. An old Wind Spirit clan member cried out excitedly, "The heavens haven't destroyed our Wind Spirit clan, the heavens haven't destroyed our Wind Spirit clan. Finally, a god has appeared to save our clan." When the old Wind Spirit clan member knelt down, the other 1,000 or so Wind Spirit clan members also knelt down and cheered non-stop. Yang Wu didn't expect that casually repelling the wind wolves would cause the Wind Spirit clan members to be so respectful. He said, "All of you get up. We're just humans who mistakenly entered this place." The old Wind Spirit clan member trembled as he walked over and said, "Lord Heavenly God, you're the savior of our clan. We knew you wouldn't abandon us. Nearly an epoch has passed, and you've finally come. You've finally come." Yang Wu revealed a confused expression and said, "Elder, I don't know what you're talking about. I saved you in passing, but I'm not your savior. Lord Heavenly God, please follow me," the wind spirit old creature said. He then led the way, heading towards the most dignified place in their village. Yang Wu and the Crown Princess both had strange expressions as they followed the old Wind Spirit clan member. The other Wind Spirit clan members also followed from behind. The eyes of these Wind Spirit clan members were filled with excitement, and their originally gray eyes had a trace of light. Not long after, Yang Wu followed them to a shrine of worship. He felt inexplicably nervous, and also had a trace of a strange reaction. It was a reaction from his bloodline, which made him feel baffled. "Lord Heavenly Deity, please come in and take a look." The old wind spirit made an inviting gesture. Yang Wu slowly walked into the temple. When he saw the statue erected in the simple temple, he was instantly stunned. This statue was worshipping a true martial great emperor. He held the Big Dipper sword in his hand and held a battle spear in his hand. He was clad in battle armor and stood on a 5-colored divine turtle. He was majestic and had an astonishing immortal aura. This true martial great emperor's appearance was actually 70 to 80% similar to his own. This was what surprised him the most. He and great Emperor Jinwu looked at each other and instantly fell into a distant memory. It was as if he had become the true martial great emperor, sweeping through the world and slaying demons. Moreover, he had even established a group of followers to fight alongside him. Among these troops was the Wind Spirit clan, and they were his vanguard troops. Their speed was unparalleled, and their battle prowess was astonishing. After an unknown period of time, Yang Wu came back to his senses and muttered, "True martial great emperor? What does it have to do with me? You're the heavenly god." The old Wind Spirit clan creature knelt and cried out. Then he said, "Please undo the seal here and restore the glory of our clan. We're willing to follow you for generations." Outside the temple, the Wind Spirit clan creatures also knelt and begged, "Please undo the seal here and restore the glory of our clan." Yang Wu looked back at the Wind Spirit clan and couldn't help but say, "Don't worry, I'll definitely save you from this sea of suffering." When he finished speaking, Even he himself was stunned. This wasn't what he had intended to say. "Thank you, Heavenly God. Thank you, Heavenly God." The Wind Spirit Clan creatures all bowed and thanked him. Yang Wu looked at the Empress with a wry smile and transmitted his voice to her. "Do you know what's going on?" The Empress spread her hands and said, "How would I know? But legend has it that the Wind Spirit Clan was once the vanguard under the true martial Great Emperor. It seems that it's true. But I'm not the true martial Great Emperor." Yang Wu spread his hands. "Who knows?" the Empress replied. On this day, the Wind Spirit Clan creatures gathered together and held a banquet to welcome the arrival of the Heavenly God. Their banquet was actually a feast of wind wolf meat. In addition, there were some ordinary spirit liquids and some low-grade spirit fruit. These were all luxuries they had. Yang Wu looked at these things and then looked at their expectant eyes. He felt an inexplicable sadness, as if he had really become the true martial Great Emperor. Yang Wu dealt with them briefly before gathering with the old creature called Feng Ci and a few other respected Wind Spirit Clan creatures to talk. It was mainly the old creature Feng Ci who spoke. He was the clan leader and had inherited the previous clan leader's inheritance, so he knew some things from an epoch ago. Their mission was to protect the bloodline power and maintain the temple. The true martial Great Emperor would come here through the temple's reaction and save them from the sea of suffering. Now, their bloodline was almost crippled, and all of their talents were about to disappear. If they couldn't undo the seal, their clan would be completely wiped out. "How can I help you?" Yang Wu asked. Feng Qian only knew some basic memories, and he didn't know anything about the Wind Spirit race being almost exterminated. Those memories were completely sealed in his bloodline. "Break this space and let us return to the outside world. Our bloodline power will gradually recover, and everything will naturally be better." Feng Ci and a few other Wind Spirit Clan creatures said with expectant expressions. "Break a space? I don't have that kind of ability." Yang Wu shook his head and said, "Actually, I really did come here by accident. I didn't come here on my own, and I might not be the Heavenly God you speak of." "No, you are the Heavenly God. Our clan has passed down for generations that as long as a creature with the appearance of the temple comes, he will be our savior. Heavenly God, you will definitely have a way," Feng Ci said with incomparable certainty. "Heavenly God, think about it carefully. It's definitely not a coincidence that you can come here. Why can't other creatures appear here?" "Yes, Heavenly God, you don't want to be trapped here for the rest of your life, right? You must have a way to break the seal here." "Heavenly God, you don't have to worry about us old men. You have to take care of the young children for us. If they die, our clan will be completely wiped out," these Wind Spirit Clan creatures said with incomparable excitement. They had been waiting for this day for too long. They really didn't want their dreams to be shattered just like that. "Alright, let me think of a way." Yang Wu looked at their eager eyes and compromised again. At present, he couldn't even protect himself. How could it be so easy to take care of them? Since they had decided, he would try. He also felt that all of this didn't seem to be a coincidence. Perhaps it was fate. Otherwise, how could the Zhenwu Great Emperor here look similar to him? Yang Wu went back to meet up with the Empress. "Tell me about the relationship between the Zhenwu Great Emperor and the Wind Spirit Clan," Yang Wu asked directly. The Zhenwu Great Emperor, also known as the Demon-Rinsing True Lord, was an extremely powerful legendary figure. He was known as the invincible expert of the God world in an era. Later on, he successfully ascended and became an immortal. However, there are still many legends about him in the God world. For example, the 4 major tribes he formed were divided into wind, thunder, light, and darkness. They corresponded to the 4 major tribes and were all one of the 10 major tribes in the God world. Wind represented the Wind Spirit Clan. After the Zhenwu Great Emperor ascended, they still occupied a vast territory and could be considered a giant. Unfortunately, An immortal descended from the immortal world and wiped them out overnight. Some people speculate that the Zhenwu Great Emperor offended the immortal, causing the Wind Spirit clan and the other 3 tribes to be annihilated. Some say that the Zhenwu Great Emperor was besieged by other immortals and his forces were also implicated. I'm not very clear about the truth. The Empress explained simply. Yes, but I don't think I'm the Zhenwu Great Emperor. Yang Wu softly replied. Then how did you obtain the Big Dipper sword? The Empress asked. She had seen Yang Wu use the Big Dipper sword before, and after seeing the statue of the Zhenwu Great Emperor, she was even more certain that it was the weapon that made the Zhenwu Great Emperor famous. I obtained it from the transcendent world. The Zhenwu Great Emperor came from the mortal world. Yang Wu was speechless. All the signs indicated that he was related to the Zhenwu Great Emperor. Alright, don't think too much about it. It doesn't matter if you're the Zhenwu Great Emperor's reincarnation. You are you now. Just be yourself. The Empress comforted. Her words really did have a comforting effect on Yang Wu. He stood up, looked at the Wind Spirit Clan's village, and calmly said, You're right, I am who I am. Why should I be affected by those external things? In any case, we have to find a way to leave this place. When the time comes, we can just bring them along. Whether they can survive or not, it's fine as long as we have a clear conscience. At this moment, he suddenly saw the light. That's right. That's the little Wu I know. He's not afraid of anything. He even dared to kill the Voidwalkers and the demon emissaries. The Empress smiled. Don't joke around. Let's think of a way to leave this place. Yang Wu rolled his eyes. I've already asked little Fei Fei to scout the way. When she comes back, we'll know. I didn't think she would have the courage to follow us into the eye of the storm. Of course. How could a mount that I've taken a fancy to be inferior? Yang Wu and the Empress slowly walked around the village. They could sense every blade of grass and tree within 100 miles. If there was anything out of the ordinary, they would be able to sense it clearly. Not long after, they saw a huge mountain in the distance. It was like a sword piercing the heavens. It was incomparably majestic, and there was a huge eye of the storm at the top of the mountain. The mountain, the wind, the sky, and the earth all stood out in this space. They both said in unison, Is that the way out? Chapter 1403. Divine Wind Mountain. That was the forbidden area of this space. The Wind Spirit Clan was a creature that lived close to the wind. They didn't have the qualifications to go there. They had sent out countless clansmen to explore through the Divine Wind Mountain. In the end, they were all torn to death by the wind of the Divine Wind Mountain. Yang Wu and the Empress didn't think so. The wind of the Divine Wind Mountain was indeed extraordinary. Perhaps it was the eye of the wind. After Mao Fei returned from exploring, she also confirmed that there was something strange about the Divine Wind Mountain. Even she felt a great pressure when she got close. Yang Wu and the Empress were more and more certain that there was something strange about the Divine Wind Mountain. They quickly arrived at the foot of the Divine Wind Mountain. The foot of the mountain was the largest and tallest mountain in this space. A storm was constantly swirling at the top of the mountain like a wind dragon, constantly roaring at the top of the mountain. The wind was indeed very tyrannical. It had the power to tear apart god-level creatures. It was no wonder that the Wind Spirit Clan's creatures would die if they got close. They were too weak. Yang Wu and the Empress were strong enough. They didn't have the confidence to face the power of the storm. The power of the storm is too strong. We can't withstand it. The Empress said affirmatively. Then she said, If we can't, we can use the void travel technique to leave this place. No, there are so many void layers. Once we enter, I'm afraid it will be difficult to find the way out. We will be lost in the void forever. It's even more dangerous. Yang Wu immediately rejected. Then he said, Wait for me here. I'll go up and take a look. No, I'll go with you. The Empress said affirmatively. Stop fooling around. Who's fooling around with you? Do you think I'll drag you down? Okay. Anyway, if there's danger, you have to retreat first. You have the final say. The two of them headed towards the top of the mountain. The closer they got to the top of the mountain, the stronger the wind became. Even with their strength, they felt like they would be blown away. Big, big, big! Yang Wu let out a roar and turned into a towering giant. He relied on his huge physique to stabilize his body. So cool! The Empress praised. She leaped onto Yang Wu's shoulder. It felt as if a giant and a dwarf were together. Hold on tight! Yang Wu shouted and continued to stride forward. As he neared the top of the mountain, his huge body was about to collapse. The howling storm was blowing too hard. The crown princess was almost blown off Yang Wu's shoulder. With Yang Wu's palm protecting her, she was able to stay on his shoulder safely. Just what kind of lousy place is this? The crown princess muttered in dissatisfaction. Yang Wu didn't reply to her. He had already opened his soul eye and looked at the storm. He immediately discovered the profoundness of the storm. He cried out involuntarily, "It's the power of the divine chain." "What divine chain's power?" the Empress asked. "I said that this storm is the power of the divine chains." "Perhaps I have a way to leave," Yang Wu said, pleasantly surprised. "This storm is the power of a divine chain? It can't be." The Empress was very surprised. "Nothing is impossible. Look carefully and see if there are gray divine chains in the storm. Although they are very hidden, they really exist. It seems to be the case. But have you cultivated the power of the wind?" "I don't think so." "Then why are you so happy?" The power of the divine chains was a divine law that could only be condensed after a true god cultivator cultivated a divine palace. It was the crystallization of their lifelong cultivation of martial arts. Yang Wu had heard about it from Dongfang Chen and the others in the Temple of Peace, and he had also learned something. In the end, he had broken through the seal of the divine chains repeatedly. When he saw that this storm was formed by the power of the divine chains, he was excited. However, the Empress's words shattered his hopes. Every martial artist cultivated different powers. Yang Wu specialized in water-profound qi. The power of thunder and fire were both innate powers. They were not his main powers. He really didn't cultivate the power of the wind. "No, I have the power of the wind," Yang Wu shouted. "What kind of wind power do you have?" the Empress asked. "My wind god leg," Yang Wu shouted. Then he said to the Empress, "You go down first. Let me study it carefully. Maybe we can really get out. I'll go to the side to guard you. I'll also study the divine chains and see if I can gain anything." The Empress replied. "Okay." Yang Wu responded straightforwardly. Then he and the Empress studied the power of the divine chains here. The storm was like a dragon, constantly circling above the mountain peak. The divine chains hidden within were faintly discernible. If one didn't have extraordinary eyesight, they wouldn't be able to discover their existence. Yang Wu stared at the divine chains with full concentration. He wanted to see some inheritance from them. His soul eye was indeed extraordinary. After looking for a while, he finally found something. He could vaguely see the shadow of a wind moving. Every time he moved, the power of the storm would appear. This power of the storm not only helped him fly, but also gave him a powerful destructive power. This was the way of the wind contained in the divine chains. Yang Wu didn't cultivate the power of the wind, but his wind god leg indeed contained a trace of wind power. He had also comprehended a powerful attack like the storm blade. He could also kick out a bit of the power of the storm. He slowly moved along with the wind shadow he saw. At first, Yang Wu's every step was very slow. He was imitating the movement of the wind shadow. Slowly, he followed the appearance of the wind shadow and began to run. Not long after, wind power formed under his feet. It also took the shape of a wind dragon. It helped him fly and attack. It wasn't far from what he saw in the divine chains. Yang Wu walked more and more hurriedly. He was completely immersed in cultivation. His understanding of the wind became more and more profound. It was easy to follow the wind, but difficult to go against it. With the help of the omnipresent wind, one could enter the 9 heavens and the 9 underworlds. This was the way of the wind. The power of the Yongquan acupoint under Yang Wu's feet grew stronger and stronger, continuously absorbing the wind power here. His running speed became faster and faster, and he even charged into the storm. "Little Wu, don't!" The lady cried out in alarm, and quickly rushed over to pull Yang Wu back. However, Yang Wu's speed was too fast, and in the blink of an eye, he entered the storm, causing her to grab onto nothing. "Little Wu, how can you bear to leave me alone?" The lady stomped her feet, and a top-grade divine armor appeared on her body. It wrapped around her weak body, and she directly charged into the storm. Woo woo! The sound of the storm continued to ring out, causing one's ears to hurt. The power of the storm could tear apart any living being. The lady's divine armor was of an extraordinary grade. It was actually able to block the power of the wind. Many wind blades landed on the divine armor, but they did not leave any marks. However, she was unable to walk steadily in the storm. Her body was being blown around, and she was unable to control herself. "Little Wu, I'm going to die because of you," the lady anxiously cried out. "Little Jingjing, don't talk nonsense. Why would I harm you?" A voice rang out beside her ear, and a strong and powerful palm stabilized her body. Who else could it be other than Yang Wu? The lady looked at Yang Wu, who appeared beside her, and instantly felt incomparably relieved. Her beautiful eyes were filled with sparkling colors. Yang Wu moved with the wind, and brought the lady out of the storm. "Wait for me outside, I'll be fine," Yang Wu said, and once again charged into the storm. It was not easy for him to comprehend the Tao of wind, and he did not want to miss it just like that. The power of the divine chains here was completely tailor-made for his divine wind chain. It was too compatible. The lady looked at the cool Yang Wu, and said with her red cheeks, "Little Wu is so handsome." Yang Wu did not hear these words. He followed the divine chains in the storm, and after comprehending the Tao of wind, he could walk outside the storm without being injured. If he wanted to completely ignore this storm, he had to practice diligently. Only by walking against the wind and entering the storm's peak would he know if the outside of the storm was a passage to leave this space. Yang Wu cultivated again and again, and the steps he grasped became more and more exquisite. He did not stay here all the time, but after cultivating for a while, he came out of the storm, digested his comprehension, and then went in again. After repeating this for an entire month, he finally completely comprehended the Tao of wind. Moreover, he had an impulse to absorb and refine the divine chains. On this day, he brought the lady and Mao Fei and said, "Let's try to leave this place. There might be accidents, so follow me." He did not give them a chance to choose, and they had no choice. They followed him into the storm and rushed towards the storm's peak. This storm had transformed into a dragon. From the summit of the mountain to the sky, it was like a distant channel. If one didn't understand the Tao of wind, then they would never be able to reach the summit. But, if one understood the power of the divine chains and passed through the Tao of wind, then this storm would only be equivalent to a distance of 10 miles. To a mortal, this distance was considered far, but to a martial artist, it wasn't too far. Yang Wu protected the lady and Mao Fei, and in a few blinks of an eye, they arrived at the storm's peak. There was indeed a wind gap there, and he did not hesitate to rush into it. Bang! Yang Wu borrowed the power of the wind to pass through the wind gap, and he once again appeared in the storm. He thought it was still the same storm, but upon closer inspection, it was completely different. The wind was not as strong as before, and even if it was still enough to injure divine-level life forms, it was still far from the power of the divine chain storm. Yang Wu passed through the storm, and he felt a familiar smell. This was the space of the storm, which was also the place where he and the lady were swallowed into the Wind Spirit Clan's space. Even if it was not the same place, it was not too far away. We're out. The lady was pleasantly surprised. Yes, we should be out. Yang Wu smiled and replied. Haha, little Wu, you're awesome. The lady laughed wildly and pounced towards Yang Wu's cheek, wanting to kiss him. Yang Wu grabbed her in disdain and said, Don't take advantage of me. Men and women should not touch each other. The lady pouted her lips and said, Little Wu, you're so annoying. Even if you miss me in the future, you won't have the chance. Little Peace, go to the side. I'll go move the Wind Spirit clan out and complete my mission. Yang Wu replied and turned back towards the eye of the storm. Little Wu, don't be anxious. Chapter 1404. Yang Wu was stopped by the Empress. He asked in confusion, What's wrong? Do you know what it means to save the Wind Spirit clan? The Empress asked. It means I've offended the immortal spirit that destroyed them? Yang Wu asked. It seems you're still clear-headed. Have you thought it through? That was the last epoch, and the immortal world is very far away from here. Even if I've offended the immortal spirit by saving them, so be it. Immortals are so narrow-minded, they don't deserve to be called immortals, Yang Wu said indifferently. The Empress was stunned by Yang Wu's words. Then she smiled and said, Well said, then go save them. Yang Wu nodded and entered the eye of the storm. Yang Wu returned to the Divine Wind Mountain the same way he came. He wasn't in a hurry to find the Wind Spirit clan's living beings. Instead, he carefully looked at the Divine Wind Mountain. He also felt that the mountain was a bit strange. Otherwise, why didn't the Divine Wind Storm tear it apart? He increased the distance between them and observed the mountain from a different position. He even opened his soul eye and carefully observed it over and over again. In the end, he confirmed that the Divine Wind Mountain was formed from a toe. Even if it was petrified, it was still a toe. His soul eye couldn't be mistaken. The Divine Wind Storm was constantly spinning around the toe's acupuncture point. Naturally, it wouldn't destroy the toe. In addition, he found that there was some kind of seal under the toe. Perhaps it was the mysterious power that sealed the Wind Spirit clan. It seems that if I don't go under the toe and destroy the seal, the Wind Spirit clan won't be able to leave this place, Yang Wu judged. Thus, he once again set out to return to the Wind Spirit clan and arrived at the consecration temple. He needed even more power to break the seal. Yang Wu cupped his hands at the true martial great emperor's statue and said, If you really think I'm the fated one to save the Wind Spirit clan, then give me the power to break the seal. Just as he finished speaking, Zhenwu Great Emperor seemed to come alive. A beam of light shot out from his statue and landed on Yang Wu's body. All of a sudden, the shrine of worship shone brightly, alarming all of the Wind Spirit clan's living beings. The temple has manifested its spirit. It must be the temple's spirit. Our race is saved. Our race is saved. Quickly, kneel down and pray for the heavenly deity to save us from this place. Lord God, please take us away from here. Lord Heavenly Deity will definitely succeed. The countless years of waiting have finally paid off. Over 1,000 Wind Spirit tribe beings knelt down with excitement in their eyes. How many years had it been? Generation after generation, they had been guarding this illusory temple, waiting for God to save them? Many times they had despaired. Their clansmen were dying of old age, and their bloodline power was getting weaker and weaker. Moreover, the ferocious beasts here were attacking them. Their clansmen were getting fewer and fewer, and they were on the verge of extinction. The heavens took pity on him. Finally, they had been waiting for the arrival of their god. Yang Wu rushed out of the temple, his body shrouded in divine light. With the Big Dipper sword in his hand, he turned into a shooting star and rushed toward the Divine Wind Mountain. At the same time, a voice shouted, "The Wind Spirit tribe has returned today." This voice was full of dignity, hope, and spirituality. When it entered the ears of the Wind Spirit race creatures, their bloodline power ignited and unsealed. Every single one of their vitality erupted, as if they were shedding their mortal bodies and exchanging their bones, welcoming a new life. Boom! A terrifying sword light pierced through the divine wind mountain and a crack appeared on the ground. The divine decree that was sealed below was revealed. Edited by Lifer, Fingerfox. It was a divine decree with the ancient word, seal, written on it. It floated out, emitting an incomparably powerful divine power. Every stroke was like a powerful move executed by a peerless expert, suppressing Yang Wu. An era has passed. It's time for everything to end. Break for me. Yang Wu's body was full of energy. Waves of immortal qi soared into the sky. The Big Dipper sword also seemed to be completely unsealed. With a slash of the sword, a black tortoise appeared. It roared and rushed toward the word seal. Boundless sword qi was released from the tortoise's body, tangling with the power released by the word seal. Boom, boom, boom. The earth-shattering power continued to collide. The destructive power swept out in all directions. The space was almost destroyed. The wind spirit tribe beings were so scared that they trembled. They had never seen such a big battle since they were born. It was simply a destructive disaster. The power of the word seal was very powerful. It was not cut by Yang Wu's 1 or 2 slashes. It continued to unleash its power. Waves after waves of sealing power were trying to destroy everything in this place. Yang Wu held the Big Dipper sword and slashed out one sword after another. Countless sword qi enveloped the surroundings, cutting off all the power of the word seal. Moreover, his sword moves also contained extraordinary martial power, becoming stronger and stronger. The nearby void was broken open one after another. Crisscrossing cracks appeared on the ground. Some innocent creatures were affected and died. The power of the word seal was getting weaker and weaker, but the sword qi was still endless. Swoosh! The word seal suddenly changed, forming a shadow with astonishing immortal qi. A voice sounded, "Zhenwu, you still haven't given up. Your subordinates have been stained with countless blood. Even death can't wipe out their crimes. You still want to save them? Aren't you afraid of violating the heavenly law?" "What heavenly law? It's all self-imposed by you. My subordinates have been sealed by you for 1,000,000 years. It's time to give them a chance to live." Yang Wu replied coldly. "Let them stay here. It's already a chance for them to live. You dare to violate universal condemnation? You talk too much nonsense. Sooner or later, I'll kill you." Yang Wu raised his sword and slashed out. The crazy power rose steadily, slashing towards the immortal shadow. The immortal shadow could not withstand the attack of the Big Dipper sword. After 10 slashes, he dissipated. "Zhenwu, you'll regret everything you've done." The immortal shadow roared unwillingly. A strange power appeared on Yang Wu's body. It was the appearance of the great Emperor Zhenwu. He cupped his hands and said, "Please treat them well. I owe them too much." "Don't worry, I will," Yang Wu replied. He did not know why, but he did not panic in the face of the great Emperor Zhenwu's figure. He did not show any respect. He only felt that they were on equal footing. "Haha, then we'll meet again." The great Emperor Zhenwu laughed wildly, then disappeared from this world. Everything in this space returned to normal. Yang Wu stood in the same place for a long time, unable to recover his senses. "What kind of trouble is this?" Yang Wu spread out his hands and said. He didn't think much of it. He turned and returned to the side of the Wind Spirit clan. He looked down at them and said, "I can take you out of here, but the outside world is more dangerous than you think. You can die at any time. Have you thought this through?" For a moment, the Wind Spirit clan was silent. They had been longing to leave this place and see the light of day again. They hoped that their bloodline would reappear and they could reproduce and restore their former glory. They had just seen the battle between Yang Wu and Feng. Only then did they realize that perhaps it was just as he said. They might face death in the outside world. Yang Wu spoke again. "The seal here has been opened, and the power of your bloodline should have begun to awaken. You will receive the inheritance of your bloodline and gradually become stronger. It will be easier for you to leave here. As long as your strength reaches my level one day, you can walk out of the storm on the Divine Wind Mountain at any time. I think it's better for you to continue to stay here. Or, when I find the way back, I can take you to another domain to cultivate. You can think about it. Yang Wu disappeared before their eyes, giving them time to think. The Wind Spirit clan began to discuss spiritedly. Clan leader, should we go out or not? I feel that my strength is beginning to grow. Some vague memories are awakening. I can definitely become a king. Lord God said that we will only die if we go out. We are too weak. Why don't we go out after we become stronger? Let's go out. After being sealed for so many years, the last wish of our ancestors is for us to go out. I don't want to stay a moment longer. Even if I die, I want to go out and see the outside world. Yes, I want to go out. Most of the Wind Spirit clan were eager to go out. They wanted to see the outside world. They didn't want to be imprisoned in this world like prisoners. In addition, their bloodline also contained the desire to become stronger. Only by leaving here would they have more opportunities to grow stronger. Yang Wu also felt very gratified by the Wind Spirit clan's decision. Even if this race was in danger of extinction, they could still survive. This meant that they weren't a race that should go extinct. With such a desire for freedom, he should help them. Yang Wu still didn't take them away immediately. Instead, he gave them a month to adapt to their awakened bloodline power and increase their strength. He also took advantage of this month's time to go out of the storm space and find a safe place for them to live. The storm space was filled with danger, but there were also some peaceful places. As long as they cleared out the creatures there and settled down, with the special characteristics of the storm space, the Wind Spirit clan would inevitably have saint-grade creatures appear one after another in less than 100 years. They were once one of the top 10 races in the God realm. Their bloodline power was not something that could be compared to ordinary people. Yang Wu went out of the storm space again, and found a safe place for them to live with the Crown Princess. Soon, they found a natural treasure land. There was a storm here as a natural barrier. After the storm, there was a flat land with many wind power herbs growing. There were many creatures living here. If one wasn't a god-grade creature, they wouldn't be able to get close to this area. It was suitable for the Wind Spirit clan to live and reproduce. Let's be a good person to the end. Little Jingjing, you set up a defensive formation for them here. Chapter 1405. The Wind Spirit race used to be one of the top 10 races in the God realm. Their bloodline power was indeed extraordinary. After the seal was lifted, they all received the inheritance. The unique cultivation system of the Wind Spirit race was awakened. They devoured the power of the wind very quickly, and their realm advanced like a hot knife through butter. In a short month's time, they gained a few dozen king-level entities, which was equivalent to the Earth-Sea realm of the human race. This kind of strength was nothing in Yang Wu's eyes, but to them who were once incomparably weak, it was already something to cheer about. After tasting the power of the unsealed bloodline, they were full of yearning for the future. They also wanted to be as powerful as the God of Heaven and be able to dominate a region. This kind of ambition came from the memories of their bloodline. They longed to become stronger. A month later, Yang Wu fulfilled his wish and brought them out of this narrow space and into the storm space outside. Strictly speaking, this place was a slightly larger prison, and not a complete world. But to the Wind Spirit race, it was also the best place to cultivate. Nobody liked the power of the wind more than them. In the wind, they could roam freely. It felt as if they were born with the wind. Yang Wu brought them to the place where everything was settled. The Wind Spirit race was even more satisfied. Thank you, God of Heaven, for everything you've done for us. All the Wind Spirit race beings knelt down and said gratefully. Yang Wu accepted their bow and said, "This place is full of danger, and many creatures are much stronger than you. Before you're strong enough, don't leave this place. Otherwise, you'll have to bear the consequences. Yes, God of Heaven, the wind spirit race beings replied in unison. Yang Wu told them to disperse and build a place for them to live. He left Feng Zi behind and warned him not to throw away the lives of the entire race just because of a moment of curiosity. God of Heaven, don't worry. We'll definitely do as you say. We won't leave this place easily, Feng Zi said seriously. All right, here are a few imperial edicts that contain my power. Once you encounter an undefeatable danger, open them. It's as if I've descended and can block the danger for you. However, my imperial edicts are not omnipotent. They can only save you temporarily, not forever. Take care of yourselves. Thank you, Lord God. When can we follow Lord God? You are all too weak. Wait until you are stronger than me, then we can talk about this. Your first task is to give birth to a few more children. Only with a large number of clansmen will you prosper. Lord God of Heaven is right. I'll go and tell them to work harder and have more children. Yang Wu sent Feng Qi away and looked at the busy wind spirit tribe living beings, and his mood improved. He'd never imagined that he would encounter such an encounter in the storm space. He couldn't help but wonder if this was intentionally arranged by the young martial god, or perhaps the young martial god knew that this would happen. Yang Wu didn't think too much about it. He led the crown princess deeper into the storm space. The storm space wasn't small, and it would definitely nurture all kinds of strange things. They hadn't collected enough yet. The deeper they went, the more they saw how terrifying the space of storms was. Some of the storms directly tore the void apart, creating layers of void. It was very easy to get sucked into them, and it would be difficult to get out alive. There were also storms that gathered together, with dozens of storms intertwining together, forming terrifying collisions that crushed a piece of land. There were also many wind creatures and creatures that were not lucky enough to escape. There were also storm eyes that devoured the heaven and earth. Each storm eye contained terrifying wind blades. Once one fell into it, they would definitely be destroyed. Yang Wu, the crown princess, and Mao Fei became especially careful. They collected strange things while being vigilant of the changes in their surroundings. They didn't know if there would be storms around them at any time. Once, Mao Fei was almost swept away by a storm. She was a creature comparable to a deity. How terrifying was the power that could sweep her away! Fortunately, Yang Wu's eyes were sharp and his hands were fast enough to pull her back. Yang Wu understood the way of wind, and the second stage of Wind God's legs was displayed to the extreme. He could be like a fish in water in these winds. As long as they didn't encounter a superstorm, he could protect the two of them. There were many strange things in the wind, such as green wind leaf grass and 9-wind heavenly vine. These were rare sacred herbs and divine medicines. They also saw a deity-level innate warrior weapon. It was the 9-section wind bamboo staff. It emitted bursts of wind, and there were shadows of the staff sweeping in all directions. It was fascinating. Some creatures wanted to take it for themselves, but they were all killed by the shadows of the staff. Yang Wu and the crown princess were envious. They wanted to take the 9-section wind bamboo staff, but before they could make a move, they felt a terrifying aura being emitted from the bamboo forest. It was an aura that was enough to make their hearts tremble. They were so scared that they ran as far as they could. They didn't dare to have any ideas about the 9-section wind bamboo staff. In addition, they also found a small divine vein in a place of wind grass. After digging out the vein, there were hundreds of thousands of divine stones and some deity-level stones. After about 3 months, they didn't dare to go deeper. They actually saw a wind dragon that was 50,000 feet long. Its silver body traversed the vast sky, and its terrifying draconic aura shook 10,000 miles. It swallowed one storm after another. That kind of wind god's might was enough to make any creature tremble in fear. On the way back, they still had some gains. It could be said that they were returning from a rewarding journey. If it wasn't for Yang Wu comprehending the Wind Tao, they wouldn't have been able to go so deep. The Crown Princess repeatedly praised little Woozy. He knew how to bring her along. She had great fortune, and he had the help of the Wind Dao. They were simply a perfect match. Yang Wu didn't refute her words. In any case, whatever she said was right. Once he refuted her, she would argue with him like a little tigress. He had no intention to argue with her about these senseless topics. However, the more he interacted with the Crown Princess, the more he realized that her origins were extraordinary. When she was in danger, she could easily take out high-level divine weapons and turn danger into safety. She even had top-level protective talismans that couldn't be destroyed by deity-level creatures. Yang Wu didn't ask her questions out of curiosity. The two of them just got along like good friends. They once again returned to the place where the wind spirit lived. They didn't go in to disturb them. They just watched from afar to see if they had adapted to life here. They found that the wind spirit was worthy of being called a high-level race. As long as they had a chance to rise, they were unstoppable. In just 3 months, 1/3 of the 1,000 or so creatures broke through to the King Realm. Clan leader Feng Zi became the first to break through to the Heaven Realm. The strength of the other creatures also increased by leaps and bounds, and they also increased by dozens of members. They remembered Yang Wu's words and didn't leave their territory. They all worked hard to cultivate. This speed of improvement is too shocking. Yang Wu couldn't help but exclaim. This is considered good. You don't know that some races are born as King Realm creatures or even Heaven Realm creatures. The Crown Princess was used to it. We mortals can't imagine. Are you a mortal? Of course. If every mortal was like you, there would be no gods in the world. Yang Wu, the Crown Princess, and Mao Fei continued on their way. This time, they were heading to the next danger zone. It was the darkness zone near the space of storms. This danger zone was the favorite place of the demons. The darkness energy here was very suitable for them to cultivate the dark devil Dao. Yang Wu and the Crown Princess came to this place. Their vision was greatly obstructed. Even with their extraordinary eyesight, they couldn't see through the layers of darkness. This was a place that others feared. Fortunately, they could use the shuttling technique, unlike in the space of storms. The space of storms was chaotic. Once they shuttled, it was easy to cause problems. Zhenwu Great Emperor has 4 divisions. They are the Wind Spirit Division, the Dark Moon Division, the Thunder Division, and the Light Division. I wonder if there are any dark demons in this space of darkness. The Crown Princess sat on Mao Fei and said leisurely. No matter how much time passed, she would always look like a little lowly. There was no change at all. It can't be so coincidental, right? Why not? There is the space of storms, the space of darkness, the space of thunder, and the space of light. They are all the 4 danger zones. If we found the Wind Spirit Division in the space of storms, it's definitely possible to meet the Dark Moon Division in the space of darkness. I don't want to meet them again. It has nothing to do with me. He hadn't encountered any living beings of the Dark Moon clan yet. Instead, he encountered a group of Devil Clan and a group of Monster Clan fighting each other. The 2 teams' fighting strength was equal. It wouldn't be easy to determine the winner. Meow. Mao Fei cried out. Demon companions? The Crown Princess asked Mao Fei. Yes, Your Highness. Please allow me to help them. Mao Fei begged. The Crown Princess patted Mao Fei's head and said, Go. Kill those demons. Meow. Mao Fei let out a long cry. She turned into a ray of light and rushed into the battlefield. You really spoil her. Yang Wu sighed softly. Of course, the demons are still trustworthy companions. Only a few demons are more cunning. The Crown Princess replied. Then she said, Mao Fei is suitable for walking in the darkness. Maybe she can help us find the Dark Moon Division. I don't care about this. Why are you so persistent? I just want to see if you are the Zhenwu Great Emperor's descendant. He was once an invincible great emperor. If his reincarnation stayed with me for a period of time, I can brag about it for the rest of my life. Maybe I can get you and make you the Empress of Zhenwu Great Emperor. That would be even more amazing. What's in your head, you little thing? Seriously. Look, there seems to be a Dark Moon Division guy over there. Don't talk nonsense. It's true. I'm not lying to you. The shadow hiding in the darkness is him. Chapter 1406. The Dark Moon Clan was a type of wanderer who walked in the darkness. They liked to stay in dark places and roam in the dark. They could blend into the night, making it difficult for other creatures to discover their existence. At the same time, they were also assassins. Very few of the prey that they had set their eyes on could escape from their assassination method. The Dark Moon Clan was once the nightmare of countless races and forces. Those races would rather offend enemies that they could fight head-on than offend the Dark Moon Clan that quietly came out to assassinate them in the dark. Empress shouted from the battlefield. Seeing the Dark Moon Clan, Yang Wu found it a bit hard to believe. Yang Wu opened his soul eye. Sure enough, he saw several shadows floating in the dark space. The shadows in the darkness seemed to sense that someone was watching them. They quickly retreated without any hesitation. You scared them away. Let's chase after them, Empress shouted. Yang Wu didn't move at all. Why should we chase? Why shouldn't we chase? They're your subordinates, Empress said. Don't talk nonsense. Don't you want to save them from the sea of suffering? Do they look like they're in the sea of suffering? Yang Wu wasn't interested in whether or not he was the reincarnation of the true martial great emperor. He was himself, and he didn't want to be someone else's substitute. He saved the Wind Spirit Clan because he didn't want to see them go extinct, and also because he wanted to save himself. The Dark Moon Clan appeared in the dark space, and they weren't weak. They were much stronger than the Wind Spirit Clan, which meant that they were living well here. He didn't want to meddle in their business. Suddenly, the Crown Princess felt speechless. She could feel his impatience. Are you angry? Empress looked at Yang Wu with a bit of fear. After being with Yang Wu for so long, she knew that Yang Wu's temper had always been very good. She rarely saw Yang Wu get angry for no reason. Now that she saw Yang Wu's stern face, she, who was always fearless, was a bit scared. Yang Wu shook his head and said, No, I just don't like this feeling. Okay, then we won't bother about them. The Empress said obediently. Then, she said, I'll go and help little Fei Fei. They've been beaten up. The Demon Clan and the Yao Clan were engaged in a fierce battle. Initially, the two races were evenly matched, but after the Demon Clan used a trump card, the situation changed. With the addition of the Empress, the Devil race's creatures were violently beaten away by her. Disgusting races like you will always have a share wherever you go. Hurry up and scram. Try taking a punch from me. If you can block it, I'll give you a chance to live. Are you looking down on me? I'm your great-grandmother. The Empress was a violent little loli. Wherever she went, demons would explode. Even heavenly king-level demons could not withstand the power of her punch. Just like that, the demonic creature was beaten into retreat. The remaining Yao Clan's creatures looked at this scene with shock. What race was this little girl from? She was so violent. It didn't seem like a fighting strength that a human could have. Thank you for your help, Your Highness. Mao Fei stepped forward and said respectfully to the Empress. The other Yao Clan's creatures were stunned once again. Mao Fei was their leader and a heavenly king-level powerhouse of the Yao Clan. She was actually so respectful to this little girl. Could it be that she was also a comrade of the Yao Clan? And, if you want to thank someone, thank that guy. He was the one who asked me to help. The Empress glanced at Yang Wu's direction and said to Mao Fei. Mao Fei bowed slightly towards Yang Wu's direction, causing Yang Wu to be speechless. He did not understand what the Empress was talking about. Princess, are they humans? A Yao clansman stood out and asked. This Yao clansman was very handsome in his human form. He held a Yao weapon in his hand and his body was stained with demonic blood. His Yao Qi was extremely dense and powerful. He looked at Yang Wu and the Empress with hostility. Clearly, he could not accept their good intentions, nor could he accept Mao Fei's respect for them. "They are my masters," Mao Fei said truthfully. At this moment, all the Yao clan's creatures were dissatisfied. "Princess Mao Fei, what kind of status do you have? How can you submit to the humans? Did they force you, Your Highness? Let's kill them together." "Princess, we know you must have been forced. Now that we are here, they won't dare to hurt you. Follow us back to the Yao clan city." The Yao clan's man who spoke just now shouted, "You lowly humans!" But before the Yao clan's man could finish speaking, he was sent flying. "If I didn't make a move, you would all be dead. Do you believe that I won't destroy all of you?" The Empress shouted angrily. The other Yao clan's creatures were scared silly. They had just won and were a little complacent. Without this little girl, they would have all been killed by the Demon Clan. This little girl was even more terrifying than the Demon Clan. "Your Highness, please calm down. Give me some time, I will talk to them," Mao Fei nervously persuaded. "I will give you an hour. After that, we will immediately set off." The Empress threw down a sentence and returned to Yang Wu's side. She asked him, "Am I very awe-inspiring? Don't call me old lady all day. You're just a little brat. Don't you feel ashamed saying that all day long?" Yang Wu gently patted her head. "Tsk, old. I'm too lazy to argue with you," the Empress said disdainfully. She didn't like Yang Wu treating her like a child. She muttered in her heart, "When we return to the God realm, I will definitely surprise him." In less than half an hour, Mao Fei sent all the Yao clan's creatures away. She had already decided to follow the Empress and wouldn't change her mind. It wasn't that she was loyal to the Empress, but that she had vaguely guessed the Empress's identity. She had no choice. The other party's background was too great. It was her fortune to be able to follow the Empress. Many Yao clan members were angry but didn't dare to say anything. Especially the Yao clan man who was whipped by the Empress. He didn't dare to say a word, afraid that the little girl would whip him away again. After sending away these Yao clan members, Yang Wu, the Empress, and Mao Fei once again set off. They directly entered the depths of the dark space. Yang Wu promised the young martial god to go to the various dangerous places, so he wouldn't cut corners. They didn't know that not long after they left, the Yao clan's creatures were all killed by some creatures who walked out of the darkness. "There's some delicious food to eat again. And the food delivered to our door is getting less and less. If this continues, it won't be easy for us to eat and wear. The two humans who discovered us have terrifying eyesight. I feel uncomfortable being stared at by them. Creatures with different pupils are the mortal enemies of our clan. They dare to intrude into our territory, so they must die. That young human gives me a very strange feeling. I actually have an impulse to submit to him. Servility. Our Dark Moon clan is a supreme race. We can't have such thoughts." In the dark space, there was darkness everywhere. It was the kind of darkness where one couldn't even see their own fingers. Yang Wu, the Empress, and Mao Fei had extraordinary eyesight, so they could walk in this space. They didn't walk far before they encountered some dark creatures who attacked them. The attacks of these creatures that looked like bats were very powerful. Not only could they release sound wave attacks, they could also spit out some poisonous liquid. This kind of liquid was incomparably smelly, and no creature could smell this kind of stench. The Empress fainted in Yang Wu's arms. Even though Yang Wu knew she was faking it, he could only let her be. Blue demonis flew out and burned all of them with fire. Nearby, they discovered a poisonous miasma, which was precisely where these evil creatures of darkness lived. There was also a poison source item in this poisonous area. It was a god-level item and was the favorite of experts who cultivated poison. Yang Wu wasn't interested in these poisons, so he didn't go and take it. Who knew that the Empress would take it? "Didn't you faint?" Yang Wu asked as he looked at the princess who was walking back with a triumphant expression. "Can't I wake up if I faint?" The Empress blinked her eyes and asked. Yang Wu rubbed his forehead and looked like he was defeated. He quickly changed the topic and said, "Why are you taking this poison source? This thing is very dangerous." You don't understand. This poison source crystal is no less valuable than a 3 tribulation god pill. The Empress smiled. It's that valuable? Of course. Many old things like this kind of poison source crystal. If you auction it, the price will only be high. But this thing is very dangerous. Don't throw away your life for money. This kind of behavior is wrong. Give it to me and I'll keep it for you. What you say makes sense, but this bit of poison can't do anything to me. Also, don't mention keeping it for me. Do you think I don't know what you're thinking? As they went in, they encountered some strange objects that opened their eyes. There was a black fruit hanging on a black tree, and there was a black python coiled around the tree. No one could get close to it. There was a waterfall hanging upside down in the night, and there was a strange horn popping out from the waterfall. There was also a black innate battle shield hanging on a cliff. It looked like a black cauldron, and there were many crows circling around it. After Yang Wu saw the innate battle shield, he decided that he had to obtain it no matter what. Not only was this innate battle shield's grade high, but it was also very cool. It looked like a turtle shell when carried on one's back. Its defensive power must be very strong. The crown princess looked at him with disdain and said, "How is this big black pot cool? Are you blind? You don't understand. Although this pot looks ugly, it's very useful. Its defensive power must be unparalleled. Moreover, it can be used to cook vegetables and even medicine. It's killing many birds with one stone. How can it not be cool?" Yang Wu explained. He paused for a moment and raised his head, causing his bangs to flutter. He said confidently, "For a handsome man like me, no matter how ugly something is in my hands, it will become the most beautiful and most handsome treasure because of my existence. Ugh! I'm going to vomit to death." Chapter 1407. The innate war shield was a black cauldron, which could be called the crow shield. It was protected by countless crows, and there were even lines of crow feathers on the surface of the shield. Yang Wu wanted this crow shield, but it would not be easy to break through the defense of these crows. These crows were not mindless beasts, but a group of spirit beasts. They could even fight in formations, and their attack power was very strong. They were not to be trifled with. Yang Wu did not want to miss out on this crow shield, and was prepared to force his way through. "Don't be in such a hurry. You can talk to them and see if you can make a deal." The Empress said to Yang Wu. "What can we make a deal with them?" Yang Wu did not understand. "You can ask them and you'll know," the Empress said. Yang Wu was stunned for a moment, and then he called out to the crows, "Friends from the Crow clan, I want that cauldron shield. I wonder if you are willing to give it to me?" "Caw caw, scram!" a crow replied aggressively. "Caw caw!" The other crows also began to caw loudly, and the sound waves continued to ring out in this place. It was enough to shake any living being to the point of having a headache. This was an attack on the soul. Yang Wu's group had good endurance, and did not suffer any injuries. The other party did not use their full strength, and this was just a warning. "This move of yours doesn't work." Yang Wu turned to look at the Empress and said, "Of course it doesn't work. If you directly take out something that interests them, it will definitely work." The Empress said, "You said it yourself. What if it doesn't work? Trust me, I am the Empress of a generation. I have seen many things, and I know their habits very well. As long as there is something that suits them, they will obediently make a deal." Yang Wu listened to the Empress again, and took out a few saint-level dark energy herbs. He communicated with the Crow clan again to see if they were willing to make a deal. In the end, tragedy befell him. Tens of thousands of crows began to caw wildly, and looked like they were about to attack him, scaring him into fleeing. "You unreliable little girl!" Yang Wu scolded. The crown princess didn't escape with Yang Wu. Instead, she took out a few black mist pearls and shouted at them, "Stop shouting. Do you want the black mist pearls? All of a sudden, all the crows fell silent. They looked at the black mist bead in the Empress's hand. They looked like they wanted to rush up and snatch it. At this moment, a large crow flew over. It maintained its original form, its enormous body covering the sky and covering the earth. It was full of black demonic energy. It asked the Emperor Lady, correct, these are black mist demonic beads. How do you want to exchange for them? I want that big stupid pot of yours. The Crown Princess pointed at the black pot on the cliff and said. Sure, but these few aren't enough. I want 50 for you. The big crow said. It's really possible, Yang Wu said in surprise. 50 is too much. How about 20? The black mist demons are very ferocious. It wasn't easy for me to get some. How can you bear to look at such a small child like me? The Crown Princess shamelessly acted cute. No, that's a Xiantian warrior weapon that my clan protect. It's very valuable and can't be sold cheaply. The big crow wasn't stupid and didn't fall for the Crown Princess's trick. But 50 is really a lot. I can't take out that many, so I can only give up. The Crown Princess said sadly. The big crow said, How many do you have? If you have 45, I'll give it to you. It's still too much. How about 25? Uncle Crow, you're the most handsome. Give it to me, okay? Little girl, 20 is too little. I won't exchange without 40. Uncle Crow, you're the cutest and kindest person in the world. 40 is still too much. I only have 28 on me. I really don't have any more. Just give it to me. Yang Wu watched with his own eyes as the Crown Princess and the big crow chatted for a while. She actually managed to get the pot shield at the price of 35 stones. Little Wu, what are you waiting for? Take out the black mist pearls and give them to this cute Uncle Crow. The Crown Princess waved her hand at Yang Wu. Yang Wu was stunned for a moment. Then, he rushed over and prepared to give the 35 black mist pearls to the big crow. Caw caw. All the crows cried out happily. They were too eager to get these black mist pearls. They had a great effect on their evolution. Be careful. Suddenly, the Crown Princess cried out in alarm and sent a palm strike in a certain direction. Bang! The Crown Princess's attack wasn't weak. Her attack caused the void to tremble. The black mist pearl in Yang Wu's hand was blown away by a strong wind. It actually disappeared without a trace. Courting death. Yang Wu was instantly enraged. Someone was actually snatching food from the tiger's mouth. It was simply a huge provocation. It's the Dark Moon Clan. Children, prepare for battle. The big crow shouted. For a moment, all the crows cried out angrily. Waves of sound waves shook the place, trying to find the hidden Dark Moon Clan creatures. The other party was also incomparably alert. After succeeding, he quickly fled. Haha, this black mist pearl belongs to us. The Dark Moon Clan creatures laughed very proudly. They merged into one with the darkness. It was almost impossible to find their traces. If they wanted to escape, no one would be able to stop them. The Crown Princess's eyesight was astonishing. She quickly chased over and threw a few punches over. The Dark Moon Clan creatures felt the Crown Princess's powerful combat strength and fled frantically. They were only at the Saint Realm. Without the protection of the terrain, they couldn't dodge the Crown Princess's punches. Yang Wu didn't want to let them go. He opened his soul eye and quickly locked onto a few hazy figures in the distance. His soul light directly shot out. Swoosh, swoosh. Streaks of soul light pierced straight into the heads of these Dark Moon Clan creatures like blades. They screamed and couldn't continue to escape. Void travel technique. Yang Wu passed through the void and arrived in front of the Dark Moon Clan creatures in the blink of an eye. He slapped over and killed them directly. He didn't show any mercy at all. The Dark Moon Clan creatures looked rather strange. They only had one eye on their faces. They didn't have nostrils or hair. Their heads were bald and their bodies were thin and small. There were sharp nails on their forelegs. They even had a tail behind their buttocks. The tail was extremely sharp. They were all aggressive parts. You You killed them? The crown princess rushed over and looked at Yang Wu with a look of astonishment. If I didn't kill them, would I have kept them for the new year? Yang Wu searched their bodies and took back the black mist pearl. He also plundered a lot of things from them. He didn't lose anything. The big crow rushed over with a group of crows and said, "Human, you're very good. You can kill our mortal enemy, the Dark Moon Clan creatures." "You and the Dark Moon Clan are mortal enemies?" Yang Wu said in surprise. "That's right. They wanted to rule the dark space and didn't give us a place to live." The big crow replied, then continued, "Fortunately, their reproductive ability is poor. Their numbers aren't large, so they couldn't kill us all." "I see. They're quite ambitious." "That's right. Since you killed them, you're a friend of our clan. You're in our territory and under our protection. Also, give us the black mist pearl. We need it. You can take the pot shield." Yang Wu didn't expect things to go so smoothly. The pot shield was an innate warrior. They gave it away just like that. They didn't take it seriously at all. Yang Wu couldn't wait to rush over and take the pot shield. Soon, he realized that something was wrong. He couldn't get close to the pot shield. An invisible power condensed around the pot shield, keeping all nearby living beings at a distance of tens of thousands of feet away. The big crow's voice sounded. "It has a sense of self-protection. If you don't get its approval, you can't take it away." "Lord Crow, you're lying to me," the crown princess cried out in dissatisfaction. No, I'm not lying to you. Without our permission, you can't get close. Now, you can think of a way to take it away. As long as you can, we won't stop you." The big crow rolled its eyes. It was obvious that this guy knew about the pot shield. It just didn't tell them. The crown princess felt that she'd been tricked. She wanted to beat the big crow up. What a shameless blackbird. Yang Wu stopped her. "Since there's such an opportunity, don't waste it. Hurry up and think of a way to take it. This bit of resistance can't stop us." "All right, I'll teach them a lesson after we take the pot shield," the crown princess said angrily. And so, the two of them used their methods to force their way into the pot shield. What awaited them was that they were forcefully pushed back. "Break for me!" the crown princess shouted impatiently, raising her fist and smashing it angrily. Bang! The crown princess's fist didn't break the chi field. Instead, she was sent flying by a wave of energy. Yang Wu hurriedly flew over and caught her. Otherwise, she would fly even further. "Are you all right?" Yang Wu asked. "I'm fine. That's the power of the rebound. It feels like I've hit a wave of energy. I can't break it and was even bounced back. Let me try again." The crown princess nodded. She flew over unwillingly and attacked the chi field produced by the black pot shield again. The result was the same. Her tyrannical fist couldn't break the chi field. She was sent flying again. The crown princess didn't believe it. She flew back and attacked again. The result was the same. The crows in the surroundings sneered. They'd used many methods but couldn't get close to the pot shield. That was why they'd let it stay there. If they had a way, they wouldn't have sold it. They just wanted to see Yang Wu and the crown princess make a fool of themselves. The crown princess was so angry that she stomped her feet. She was prepared to use her battle weapon to break the chi field. Yang Wu stopped her and said, "Don't be impatient. Let me take a closer look. I'm afraid that just relying on brute force won't be able to get close to it." He opened his soul eye and carefully looked at the chi field. After looking at it a few times, he didn't find anything wrong. Then, he lightly knocked on the chi field's wall. The power of the rebound wasn't very strong. This meant that the amount of power he used would be the same amount. This was the pot shield's special characteristic. Rebound chi field. It's probably the pot shield's power, Yang Wu said with certainty. Then, he thought for a while and said, "Since it's a rebound force, as long as it doesn't rebound, we might be able to get close to it." How could he prevent the chi field from rebounding?